Previously, in the Age of Ashes, the outsiders fell afoul of the Ekujae hunters for their use of fiery magics.
The Ekujae scouts, they said they had seen Cinderclaw magic back at the gate.
Both Rur and Resme have fire magic that they were using to subdue it. So if that was what they saw, then it's not the Cinderclaws.
And he's got white hair.
Imagine my surprise to find those the twin leopards have seen fit to put their hopes in. A cure as bad as the sickness.
Oh, you're
casting fire across our lands.
Oh, he's just being a jerk then.
Before we go off on trying to explain ourselves.
There's nothing to explain.
I'm not
We acted
explaining
perfectly
ourselves.
reasonably.
Dalrin.
Who are all humans on the inside. Except you.
Does he
I
want to
don't
get
maybe
punched?
Esther.
It was suggested they meet my people for aid, but the Cinderclaws had reached us first.
From the rubble of one of the homes, a very weak voice.
They descended upon us with fangs and fire. They tried to take the elephants from us.
Cinderclaws came with a very, very large force. They came for destruction, not for killing.
Just some more information.
I know where the tracks are.
You would
that.
definitely know the
That's
tracks
useful.
led out to almost the due east from here, where they had come in, like east-northeast. He picks his hands up and claps them together again and puts both of them up. The elephant stands up, and you
Get me off of this thing! This thing's going crazy!
Just stay where you are.
literally just stands up. This doesn't
Get me off it! Dalrin! Get me off of
You
this
almost
thing!
certainly can't reach Dalrin down below you.
Just calm down.
You're fine, I'm
He's
sure.
just standing there. As he starts screaming,
Rur, you better be ready to split
start a
some
little
bones.
bit, and it just moves a couple steps, kind of.
I'm gonna
backward.
bail. Bail. I'm gonna just leap off of this thing.
So you just dive off of the elephant, and you're just hit the dirt. You're gonna take 8 bludgeoning damage for falling about 16 feet. What is lacking from that recap of the story events of everything that took place, really, because the purpose of those videos is to allow anyone to be able to catch up to where we are with relative brevity should they miss a session or a couple sessions or just find the show. But what was missing was the exact circumstances of the ending of last week's Age of Ashes episode, where we found some fairly large local wildlife. I would say is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go with fairly large local wildlife.
These are
Seems
just a
accurate
different
to
kind
me.
of elephant.
I mean,
That's wrong on all accounts.
Depending upon what he rolls, it might become what we find out.
everything is an elephant of some denomination.
I'm confused.
You had started following the tracks that those Cinderclaws had left from the Elephant People's village, further out to the east, in the very southern edges of the jungle, out far into the areas where the Ekujae can no longer travel because of this strange blindness. Fortunately, that hasn't appeared to affect any of you yet so far. So it seems like Nikita's hypothesis was correct. It's a very directed effect, whatever it is. Well, you don't have to worry about that. You do
Have to worry
kind
about
of have to
them.
worry about a couple of incredibly large local fauna that seem to have arrived. And these things, with beaks almost like an oversized pelican, easily 10, maybe even 12 feet long. Just the
They're
mouth
like canoes.
of this. It is. You could easily, like, Esvis wanted to make a raft. You could just paddle upstream in the detached bills of one of these enormous pelicans. But while they have the head and the beak of one of these birds, they have the body of something entirely different. Massive bat-like wings. And as they turn and notice you, And as they spread, one of them hopping across the large pools of this swampy terrain, its wingspan seems to be near 40 feet. The things are enormous, towering far overhead, dwarfing each of you with a single talon on its claws, both attached at strange little elbows on the wings and on their oddly little bird-like feet. But they're kind of furry, almost. A long telescopic, sort of giraffe neck, covered in a thick white fuzz. It may be feathers. It's difficult really to tell given the scale of the creature itself. And I'm going to give you a couple of enormous pterodactyl monster tokens.
One has an axe.
That's awkward.
There's only one of these in the bestiary box. Let's disregard the dense tree raiser. It's a second giant pterodactyl.
And we left off as Ver had been exploring his knowledge check, which I know I rolled once, then you failed. And you wanted a halfling luck and roll again. We decided to just kind of stall on the outcome of that because, well, this was all going to happen in the next session, which we thought was going to be 2 weeks later. But remind me of your nature modifier, good sir.
That is a 14. No, that is a 12.
I was like, wow, that's pretty impressive. Well, still pretty decent, though. And looking at one of these, while dinosaurs exist in the Galarian universe, they're not terribly common. They're much relegated to places like this, unexplored, uninhabited islands, the depths of the rainforest here. This is a pterodactyl, or something very akin to it, but much, much larger.
Just call it a Quetzalcoatl.
Quetzalcoatl?
Quetzalcoatlus? It's the name of an actual
it's a
dinosaur that
Quetzalcoatlus.
exists. Quetzalcoatlus?
Yeah, that's what we're going with.
I could buy Quetzalcoatlus from this series of letters that is on this card. Quetzalcoatlus is something that I could buy. I'm not an archaeologist. I'm aware this is an actual dinosaur, and I have no idea how to say it. Again, don't make fun of me. But they are all that they look like they are. A colossally massive prehistoric predator that, well, is very simple in its existence. It is a hunter, and much like a pelican, it uses that enormous freaking beak to just kind of peck away or scoop up whatever it really feels like. And these two here on the island, you can tell as they pick through the remains of a campsite that looks like it was fairly recent before these two just ripped it apart. They look very, very hungry.
Halfling lunch.
So why don't we... I hate you. You get a -4 your initiative. Resume's too busy thinking about pun. Well, you guys roll me some initiative here.
+1 from me.
Thank you.
Thank
What you
you.
got, Rare?
29.
Ooh.
Buddy, you
are-
sound like you're impressing over there.
We're both
Yeah,
like
we're
really on
rocking.
top of things. 34.
34. We got some new tokens. I'm not entirely positive how visibly differentiable these are going to be on stream, so let me know. Delrin?
30.
30.
Just 30.
Espus?
31.
31, you say. And Resume.
30.
Who wants to go first when you and Delrin?
You,
Me, please.
you go first.
Melee man, please. Melee man would like to go first. Thank you. So if I keep these all on this side here, I can slide them through these. And we have plenty of space. And then...
It's quite the day when a 29 is the last in the party.
It's quite the day, and it's also just kind of the progression of second edition. It's
Yeah.
much more linear than 1E was, because you had a similar thing in first edition, but it was only damage that scaled like this, and no other numbers in the entire game.
Oh, your hits. Your hit scaled like that. Your base attack bonus.
Yeah.
For your martial
I
class.
still don't feel like it spiked. It spiked pretty well. I guess your base attack bonus and your damage, really,
Yeah.
and absolutely nothing else.
Yeah, your
did.
defense didn't spike, didn't do it, and your...
But now everything scales in second edition much more evenly. Since we're 6th level now, the numbers are just becoming a lot bigger. And Miko Rems, feeling particularly evil today, is going to load me up with a 4th villain point, just in time for me to roll some giant Quetzalcoatlus initiative. That sounds right. I like the way that moves on my tongue. I'm gonna
Well,
go with
I used to-
Quetzalcoatlus.
I used to play a dinosaur computer game, and Yeah, that's it.
Quetzalcoatlus.
Yeah, Quetzalcoatlus,
That's
yeah, there
it.
you go.
Dinosaur. Like, this is
It's
a
an
creature
actual
that existed,
dinosaur.
theoretically. It's not like a made-up name. That's why I wanted to try so hard to get it.
Thank you, Dad, for making me play that computer game that taught me about dinosaurs.
Hooray!
Appreciate ya.
All those times you thought your random dinosaur knowledge would never come in useful. Well, I'm going to immediately use that villain point. Thank you, Mika Rems. I appreciate you.
You want to use another one?
It just gobbles them
you
up
got
in
plenty.
that pelican beak.
I do want to use another one, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to go ahead and plop this dude down here. He can just chill. Not being a 29. That's the nearest one. Whereas the one further back, going to do much better. What did you roll on the die, out of curiosity?
14.
You guys hot rolled the hell out of these.
Mr. Wisdom over here.
It had to happen sometime.
Yeah.
They're on an island some distance away from you, and they're just kind of noticing you here, and I mean, it makes sense. They're lazily turning and thinking, oh, food maybe, while you are screaming in panic at the giant monsters that are looking at you thinking, oh, food probably. So, buddy, you are the first to react here. They very much are sort of slowly turning towards you. One of them is spreading its wings, looking to flap across this bit of standing bog water here, but they aren't exactly diving forward, talons swinging for the assault.
Well, they look like predators, but I mean, even a bear will get spooked if you try hard enough, right? So I'm going to run forward, I don't know, I guess 10 feet, and wave my arms a whole lot.
You're gonna run up into the bog?
Oh, it's okay.
Because on the map here, I remade this map so it's way less laggy. I did it. There's not covered in GIF trees. You can see some of the standing swampy water around this terrain. The edges of it, the yellowy water, are going to be difficult terrain, while the deeper patches that are greener is actually greater difficult terrain, which costs you 20 feet of movement to move through. Wow. That is...
We are still under the
Shoulder-deep
effects
water.
of Show the Way.
What does Show the Way do? Remind me.
Reduces the penalty of greater and difficult terrain.
While you're
That-
following something, right?
That works that works in combat?
I am positive that is not applying in combat. But feel
not
free to look it up
sure.
later for your turn. Buddy.
I guess I could go to the one further, so I'm still kind of on the edge here. I don't have to go fully into Elbog.
You are on the edge. But,
So yeah, so I'll just be on the edge, and then I'm going to be like, get out of here, shoo, here, now chickens, get out of here. And, oh,
Yeah, that's
God.
not right.
Excuse me, you have no idea of my intimidating prowess here. 2 on the die.
It's
just
actually rerolling a
cannot.
villain point down. We have successfully rolled initiative so far.
Okay, so that's a 19, so 28.
Ooh, scary.
28, the one closest to the front here, does seem to kind of question the situation. As it steps and you step up and yell at it, it spreads its wings, kind of arcing forward, flapping towards you a little bit while it raises its beak kind of up in the air in a similar, seemingly intimidating display.
I will raise my shield.
Alrighty. Esvis, also chat, I'm going to do this now. Tell me what you think of this. So that at any given time, this is a snapshot of whose turn it actively is, and then going down instead of a static who rolled the best initiative. It's going to be a little livelier.
I like it.
I like it. I think it's neat. I think it's an easier, quicker
It's like
to
roll
glance.
20.
It's the best idea ever.
So-
pretty much.
And totally
You are.
I know. It's not what Roll20 has done for us for many years at Pathfinder automatically.
It's not it's not just the beard.
Esvis.
So, you know it, you love it. Hunt prey. And first things first, hunted shot. 2 shots at my prey.
Ooh, that's intimidating.
I'm
pretty
more
large.
intimidating.
It is pretty large.
Shoot at the dude in front.
No, I'm the
the
one
back?
in the back.
Okay, just taking some shots here.
Yep, taking some shots.
It is for travel only.
Okay. First shot.
Under the
Under the table.
Bounced right out of the dice box.
That was a small gap, too. That was a skill shot.
I know, right?
Also, I did some audio balancing adjustments, chat, so tell me if the sound effects and the music is too loud / too quiet. We hear it louder. You should hear it quieter than it was before.
Okay.
All right, so first shot. 23 armor class.
23, as your arrow shoots out, you're going to see it punch right into this thing. It is soft, meaty flesh. As your arrow kind of embeds itself in a wing, the thing is just so dang massive that's completely negligible to it. 23 is not going to hit.
Okay. And second shot. Session reroll.
Here we go. We're gonna go through them today.
All right, boys, we're gonna throw our money at them.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Pay them to go away.
26.
A 26 will hit a little better. That'll succeed.
All right.
Damage.
Damage. For 14 points of damage. No, 13 points of damage.
Oh, I thought you said poison
I
damage.
also
I'm
heard
like,
thought you
poison
said
damage.
poison.
Like, that was a
So
poison?
the arrow, so the first, for lining up the second shot, or after the first shot just kind of sinks in, like you said, and just doesn't really do anything. The second one, just put it in the exact same spot and drive that arrow a little deeper, just like fine. And just
Now ripping a little bit of a visible hole in one of this thing's wings.
Yes,
Looking a
do-
little more like the token we used for it, I suppose.
yeah, doing some
Razor's got holes in his wings.
try to do some piercing damage here, and I'll take a third shot, just a regular shot.
Okay.
And 18.
18 is not going to do it. Again, it's not difficult to hit the thing. It's incredibly large. It's difficult to make a difference to it. It just dwarfs your weapons. $1 in.
All right. Well, this just seems about appropriate time for it, given how they're all arranged like this. So, first things first. Well, this lightning channels up, wraps up, but this time it just builds up bigger and bigger and bigger until he's literally glowing, and then he'll just lunge forward, and a bolt of lightning is gonna flash out from him and spear through these two. That is my Dragon's Rage Lightning Breath.
Okay.
Oh.
So I'm assuming that's reflex save.
That is totally a
certainly sounds
reflex
like
save.
Reflex save.
DC 22.
As large as these creatures are, they are still wild animals. They're somewhat skittish and surprisingly reactive to move their enormous bulk out of the way. That is going to be a clock here. Hold on. Be a 33 on the front one's reflex save.
That will critically succeed.
And a 31 on the second one.
That will only normally
The
succeed.
first one dodges out entirely.
Yeah.
Put on edge by Buford.
That's it.
Oh, technically 32 because he's frightened one. Does that make a difference in the critical success?
Just.
So they will hit both of them.
Yeah. No. I mean,
just
it
critical
just does
success.
not.
Ah,
Yeah,
I see.
exactly. So I rolled terribly, so that's only 14 total. So he'll take 7 lightning
The one in
damage.
the back is taking the arrows and also taking the lightning bolt. The one in the front here entirely managing with a very surprising swiftness to pull itself away. Is that everything?
Yep, that's
two
one.
actions?
It's 2 actions to lightning to cast
I
lightning.
see.
Breath.
Resume then.
Resme's eyes will widen, and these things are huge, and she does not want to particularly get hit by them. So you'll hear her whisper out, "Multiplicarum," and 3 other Resmes will appear, sort of in different parts of the crowd, and they'll all kind of go, "Ha, that's better," and then they'll all cast shield in front of them.
Defend it as well as you possibly can be here.
I like it.
I like it.
I feel like trying something slightly risky.
Oh, great.
Not bringing.
Rur sees these. To be fair, this is how Rur sees normal people, probably.
Yeah. So, I want to try throwing some food onto the island with them.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna dig a ration out of my bag and just chuck it over onto the island. I would imagine I don't need to roll to just get on the island.
No, you can. There's 2 actions. One to pull some food out of your bag, and another one to just pitch it as hard as you can onto the far shore. You can definitely at least land it in front of this front Quetzalcoatlus. Make me a nature check, because simply yeeting the food is only so effective.
Well, I'm gonna go on ahead and re-roll that with a session re-roll because that's a 3 on the
Oh
die.
baby, silver coins raining fast.
And then I'm gonna go on ahead and give you one from TNT
Right.
because that's a 7, and we're gonna go.
Yeah, you wish you'd been a little less spendy to dance off, huh?
Absolutely not. These are well spent points.
No regrets.
No regrets.
None whatsoever.
To a 10 for a 22.
Well, 22. You toss these rations down in front of this front Quetzalcoatlus as it's kind of posing. It dips out of the way of lightning, and it turns its beak and sees that there is food there. It definitely distracts it for a moment. It's going to be stunned 1. Leaves you with 1 action.
Just gonna yell out, try tossing more food, and then pop up a shield, just in case.
From the back, the slightly toasted, arrow-studded one of the creatures here is a little bit upset. And he is going to spread his wings and glide across the water, alighting on the ground here near the source of these arrows that are flying towards it. The lightning, seemingly either spooky or less threatening to it, it's pretty mad at the dude shooting arrows back here. As it lands, it's going to peck down with an enormous beak, significantly larger than your entire body, spreading stone and wet earth all around you as it strikes for a 27.
That'll hit.
Some dice here. Need this die. So that is gonna peck ya for
I don't like that he rolled that twice.
26 damage.
Ouch.
Oof.
And as it strikes, this beak is going to hit you with such a colossal impact that it's not only throwing you off balance, it is going to rip a jagged wound open. You are bleeding quite severely as well. Now the other bird here, for a moment, pecks down at the rations that Rur has tossed on the island near its feet. It does very much seem interested. It wants food. And spending an action to grab at some of this, it realizes there's not really a whole lot here. And it is going to fly over towards where this food apparently came from. Still in flight, sweeping down with a talon towards Rur for a 31.
That is just a crit.
Just a crit.
Just a crit.
Just barely a crit.
I can, as he swoops down on this small halfling, he worries, well, maybe all the rest of this food's going to be really spicy. I don't know about this creature.
Maybe just peppers.
Maybe he just, I don't know, he smells kind of like peppery. I don't know.
I don't know if I want to eat that.
I'm feeling this weird doubt. It's actually going to falter with its talon. It's not going to land. And it is going to veer off in flight and land somewhere over here, having just swoop with a talon on the wing, not needing to stop, just snatching at you, and land, put its wings back up and its beak back up again, and continue just kind of posturing here. Buddy. One of them is confused and chilling, the other one is very aggressively mauling Espus.
Espus!
Clomp, 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 clomp.
I'm going to go. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Clomp, 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 clomp. Over in front of Espus, actually. Pumping all the way over.
I want to move the camera a little bit because the folks here might get shifted.
Oh, good plan, good plan, good
Shift some
plan.
tokens, but continue.
Okay, and then I'm going to grab this bird's beak and try. Yeah, so I'm gonna try and grab this beak.
You're getting some Titan Wrestler value in this campaign.
Yeah. That was a natural one, so I will trade in
We're gonna need
5
4.
Bring your 4 back.
Okay, turn it in a 5-piece.
Changing 4 hero
Okay,
points.
that was
Let me make you some
Mucker can help us
change
out
here.
here.
There's 2, 3, 4 from the Bank of K-Dust.
Oops. Okay, let's.
Grab that beak. Oh.
Okay, yeah.
Beak grab you.
Well, it's probably not a critical failure. So 5 on the die for a 19.
19. As you try to grab it, it flips the beak back up, nearly knocking you over. That is almost a critical failure.
Okay, well, that's better than a critical failure.
But you managed to keep your footing. You got 1 action left.
Okay, and then I will raise my shield.
It's a good idea. Espus.
Just very quickly after the beak, like you said, it just kind of came down and just shattered rock and things down in the bog. Just one hand clutching on the chest with this massive gash straight through the leathers, and just very quickly use my new feat for step. I will take a 5-foot step back and take a shot.
A little bit of distance seems like it's probably pertinent.
Yeah. a little bit. That is a 34.
34 will hit.
Hey.
It's not a critical
hit.
success.
Ooh, it's better than nothing.
That's 2 8s I see over there.
Hey.
That is 18 points of damage.
Nice.
Just immediately jumping backward and just putting it like as it like brought its beak back to throw Buddy backward, just burying it near the throat.
With a solid shot there, even though from a distance, looking at the whole scope of this creature, it looks like it's got a noodle neck. That neck is probably 4 feet around.
Yeah.
Your arrow sits like a thumbtack. It hurts it, blood oozes out, but this thing is just so massive, it's still relatively uninjured.
Okay. I'm going to immediately take a full move and go 30 feet, just back and away.
Where do we have map?
Oh, we have a
got
map.
I'm assuming you're going to move
Around the pond.
around the
Oh, yes.
swamp here to avoid any sort of a difficult terrain issue.
Yes, thank you.
They can make you shift everything, but I've actually got a bunch of map because I figured this may take a decent amount of space to find something so large.
And then I will hunted shot for 2 more shots.
Oh, yeah, stepping shot.
That's one action, yeah.
Yep.
Skirmishing strike is
Action
cool.
economy.
Yeah.
I like that a lot of the improvements that you get in second edition are action economy rather than just raw numbers. So
Yeah,
being able
it's
to
nice.
step and strike as one action instead of just like your strike more do-gooder.
Mm.
I like it a lot.
This is a 24 armor class.
24 isn't going to do meaningful damage to it.
Okay.
It's going to fail.
And second shot. 26.
26 will land though. 26 will hurt him.
You were right. Yellow came through.
Mm-hmm.
For 13 more points of arrow damage, just trying to focus on that spot. It may look like a thumbtack, but dang it, if porcupines don't hurt.
So as you put 51 damage on this creature here, it still seems to be more mad than it is concerned for its own safety, though it is definitely starting to show some signs of wear. But so are you as you bleed for 7 damage.
Tearing that wound open by constantly going across the chest.
And then go ahead and roll me a flat d20 to see if that ends.
Okay.
As a reminder, there is a just flat 20%, 25% chance that any condition, any persistent
The gash will
damage
just
condition
seal
will end.
itself.
So 15 or higher?
15 or higher, yeah.
Okay. Nope.
Right, Dalren.
All right. So. All right. Well, I was thinking of trying to go and keep this thing busy while this gets dealt with, but it might make more sense to focus down. And Resume's spell will probably keep her safe. Let's try that. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move up directly next to Rur. And I'm just going to use the advantage of my...
Can't see past the giant Quetzalcoatlus panel.
There you go.
Thank you, sir.
You are welcome.
Like, it was... The other way, it's literally blocking my view.
They're big birds.
I think they're over there somewhere. I know they hear some noises. And I'm going to take a slash at it. That's a 25.
25 will land.
All right,
Nice.
nice. 15 and 8 is 23 lightning damage.
That's pretty solid.
Nice job, Dragon Man.
And I'm going to follow that up around and see if I can pull that back and catch it again. And that's a nat 20.
Oh, baby.
Baby.
Oh,
Leading
baby.
up with 1 into a critical strike, assuming
Hey,
the
that's,
attack modifier can't possibly be low enough that it doesn't critically succeed.
yeah, it's a 35 to hit.
Yeah.
Let's see, 13 plus 8, 21 times 2, 42 lightning damage.
42 lightning damage is actually going to blast that thing apart immediately with a quick 1-2 hack.
Kaboom!
The angry pterosaur falls with a massive crash into the wet earth. Resume.
Resme will look at the other bird and shout out, Ignis! Ignis Maxima! And will drop a fireball on it.
I mean, it's a swamp. Swamps don't
It's a
burn well.
All right.
The Ekujae.
So he's not currently fighting anyone. He's just kind of posturing for position here, trying to get some food. As in, a fireball is not a subtle spell, I would say. There's ample time to attempt to avoid this. Going to get a 31 on the reflex save.
That will fail.
No, I don't think
sure
it will.
It does not.
I think it won't critically succeed.
I'm positive that doesn't fail. There is.
No. The fireball will only do half damage.
Right,
Okay,
so it
so he
succeeds.
Succeeds.
It succeeds.
All right,
Okay.
fair. You are sad.
Yes.
Well, like, there's no universe. Your spell DC is 31 right now.
But I still get to do half
Yeah, you
damage,
still
right?
get to do half.
Okay. Cool.
It's gonna start making that noise next.
21.
All right, 21. So is that half or that's all of it? So it's gonna
That's
be
all
10.
of it, yeah.
This is the first. I think it's actually hit this one. He's just kind of been in the corner.
And I will cast shield again.
All right, Rur.
Poor Rur had such a good idea.
I still have an idea.
It robbed it of an action.
That's true.
All right, now that there's a crispy chicken meal on the ground here,
Oh, good point.
I'm going to hop up on top of it because I'm assuming it's big, but it's not like thick.
It's
Like,
it's
I could get
pretty
on the
large.
wing.
It's you could hop up on a wing to be sure.
Yeah.
It is like a probably 10 foot high mount. It's pretty large. But you can get up onto the edge of it for sure.
And I'm going to
Eat it?
make myself very obvious and I guess try and show it there's more food here because it saw that I gave it food already. Now I'm trying to be like there's more food right here.
Eat your friend.
Eat
You're
your
into
friend.
cannibalism,
You're
right?
a
Yeah.
cannibal!
And we're gonna go.
They don't have society. They don't have concepts like cannibalism.
You're going to pelican hell, lizard cannibal.
Would a 26 be a little better on that nature check?
26 does seem pretty alright. But as you call out and try to distract it, it now seems far more distracted by the giant fireball that was just thrown at it. It's a little more angry at that direction than it is currently hungry. Okay, one action left.
Shield.
There.
Well, nothing else I can do. I tried.
Oh, well, crap. So this creature here, in response, is going to leap off the ground, gliding forward once more, this time directly towards Resme, as it swoops down, passing with a talon for a... give me a nice healing point here. We use Link 1429's last one. Thank you for that, comrade. This pelican's time of need. Much better. Swooping down for a 35. Quick math.
Okay, roll some percentile dice. 75% of the time he's not going to hit me,
Well,
so...
something happens with a critical.
Is a critical hit, which is it negates the critical
Yeah, it's a
hit.
normal
hit on
you, and you
It's a
lose
regular
There's
hit.
an image. Yep.
Okay, cool.
So he is just so large and his talon's so massive that he both cleaves through one of these mirror images and strikes solid.
But I don't get a crit.
You don't get crit.
I mean, that's still a lot of value. for
That's
sure.
value. And I have 2 images left.
And he is going to swipe you for 17 damage.
And I'll be now that one's spicy too, lair. And
This one seems a little mad now.
Yeah,
So he's
yeah.
going to take the enfeebled.
Okie dokie.
Does that take off any
That
of the
takes some.
damage?
That- yeah,
That's what she's looking at real quick.
Yeah. I think it's 8.
Okay, so that's going to be 9 instead of 17.
Okay, so you'll see that spectral ghost come up and take the hit for her, and then recede back into her, and Resme doesn't have a scratch on her.
However, she is snatched up in the talon of this thing. As it flaps up, carrying her, 2 phantasmal mirrored Resmes just kind of flying behind, and pitches up about 20 feet in the air, just flying off. Resme in tow.
Yay!
Huh.
Bye,
Buddy.
Resme.
I'm gonna grab my hammer. I'm gonna drop my regular hammer, pick up the silver light hammer, and chuck it after it. Put her down, you idiot!
So it is 20 feet, which is exactly the range increment, so you think
Yep.
a penalty. You just pitch a hammer up at this thing. Very cool.
Okay, so that is that's pretty good actually. That's it's a 27.
27 will hit.
Okay, well, let's see.
Maybe you managed to hit the pterodactyl with a hammer.
Yeah, that's kind of what we were hoping for. Only for 6 damage, though, unfortunately.
So you just see your hammer. Everyone just sees the kind of plum go. And just fall on the ground.
We're never getting that hammer back.
We'll
And
just
then-
find a small, like, hammer-shaped hole in the peat moss somewhere.
And
Even
then,
20 feet up, you can watch the hammer land in the mud somewhere underneath
Yeah.
this thing.
and then I'm going to try and yell after it. Drop that wood! Excuse me! Pretty good. Okay, so it's -5 for being an attack rate.
Intimidate's not an attack, no.
Oh, it's not? Okay,
No.
cool.
Demoralizing
Perfect.
does not have the attack rate.
Okay, so that would be a 26.
So 26, spooked, he flaps harder.
Drop the thing!
Esvis.
Hey. Oh, great.
Sorry, resume.
Hunt prey and full volley. First hunted shot. There's no such thing as called shots in the second edition,
There are
correct?
not, no.
Okay. All right, so just 2 shots. First shot is gonna get a hero point. Thank you, Deadly Doll, for the hero point.
You're about to give me the dice.
This is what you've been loaded up for. I can't see the overlay right now. What do you have? The nameplate is up.
I have 1
That's what I
left.
thought.
Much better. That will be a 34.
34 will hit. Oh, he's frightened 1. 34 will critically hit.
Yeah!
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Sure does. Thank
Indeed.
you. Thank you. All right. And deadly.
Yeah.
Doll.
That's right. For a total of 20 points of damage.
All right.
So just trying to sink an arrow once again, just porcupining this thing, just sending an arrow right up into towards the throat. And try the second shot. Is a 31.
31 will hit.
I told you the yellow dice is going to carry you.
This is fueled by adrenaline, clearly.
Yeah. Just let her go, let her go, let her go. Drop it.
Drop it.
Spit that out, put that down.
What have I
What do you got there?
Put that thing back where it came from, or so help me. For 12 more points of damage, just sinking arrow after arrow into the same spot over and over again.
Alrighty.
And third shot.
It could
Roll,
even be a
let me
fourth
see that
shot.
20.
No, nope, that would just 15, just goes wide.
Is that you have 1 left, I believe, right?
No, I'm done because I hunt
to
prey.
hunt.
Oh, you had the
and then-
hunt as a new
yeah.
prey. That's right. Dalred.
Huh. Well, that's inconvenience.
Oh no.
Pop a javelin up. Haven't had a chance to prep this yet, but lightning's just gonna charge the javelin. He's gonna launch it into the sky after this thing. That's gonna be a 25
25 will hit.
You're still bleeding.
Oh, that's right, I am
right.
still bleeding.
maximum. Nice. That's a
8 bleed
total
damage.
of
And I rolled a check and see if I.
14 lightning damage.
Okay. This one's starting to take some pretty good hits as it has sailed over the group, wheeling around to seemingly fly back to wherever it came from with its new meal.
I do have an action left.
You do have
can
one
I,
action left.
Can I try to follow it?
Well, you
With
can
it-
see as it picks her up, it's definitely wheeling around to the left. It looks like it's heading back maybe towards the island, where they first were.
Okay, fair enough. I will start running that way.
That's what's your speed?
35.
Speed 5. 10,
Yep.
20, 30 because of the difficult terrain. So you
All
get
right.
to the edge of the deep bog here.
Perfect.
Could you theoretically jump across it?
With
I
another action.
Yeah, just like-
probably could, actually.
Is it jumpable or is that too far? I can't tell exactly how big it is.
Well, the thing is, I have to actually wade up to the part
Yeah.
I need to jump over first. It's probably faster just to wade through it.
So, Resume, you are currently grabbed,
Um,
held aloft with this thing's claws, having a great time.
Resme will transform herself into a ladybug. I'm doubting that this thing is going to have expected her to turn into a small insect, so hopefully she is just going to fall through his claws onto the ground.
Well, it is relatively difficult to produce the somatic components of your spells while it's holding on to you.
I mean,
so
it's
it does-
holding me,
It
but...
does need a flat check.
Okay. Flat check.
It's on the card. It's literally DC5. There's just like a
Oh, okay.
20% chance to lose the spell trying to cast it on Sky. Because it doesn't actually.
14.
14. All right. So with that magic, it's gripping you. As you transform into a ladybug, its claw just kind of shuts, and that is entirely too small for this thing's massive taloned hands to continue holding on to. So you would slip right out of its grip as it flaps back towards the island.
She's gonna crawl up onto a leaf and stay as a ladybug, because I don't want to change back into me yet and draw its attention back to me.
Kinda
Your
flit onto
duplicates
it.
change too?
Yep.
He's basically would just realistic. So he's 20 feet in the air. Just see Resume cast a spell and
Disappear.
There's no way you can see several ladybugs flying around up there. Like she's just gone. She just poofed. Rare.
It's gone.
I don't know exactly what happened up there, so I'm going to go with my original plan. I'm going to cast Command, and I need a will save from this dinosaur.
Does it have to be able to understand you?
It's going to be a 32 on a nat 20.
Oh, well then he critically succeeds.
He is not listening to you anymore. He's focusing on food. Everything's hitting him. He's confused about where the food he just had went. He doesn't have time to listen to you right now.
And I will move off of the body and back down to beside Buddy. I don't need to be standing on a giant bird anymore.
Alrighty. So, this thing, somewhat injured, not mortally so, is gonna go ahead and continue what it was doing of just flying back towards the island. Nothing in its hands, but as it flies over, oh hey look! There's something in the bog that I can pick up and eat. It's
Totally
very
is.
visible, crackling with lightning.
Come get me.
So as he flies by, that is going to be a 21
Versus my...
versus your armor class to Grave with the Talon.
Oh, no, I'm AC 23, actually.
Ooh.
So you
He's
just gotta
actually-
duck.
You
He's actually gonna whiff.
into.
Yeah, you got a bog to hide in there.
I just... Whap! Get away from me.
Before he ends up landing on the island here and turning around to shoot this massive taloned beak now splashing down to the bog water towards you.
Okay.
And that one is gonna also be kind of can't really see you super well in the water with a math 15 only.
Yeah, nope.
He's feeling a little peckish.
Just again, just slide off to the side. I don't think so.
Difford.
I'm going to walk over the edge of the bog near kind of Dalren. I want to be within 15 feet of both Dalren and Rur's.
It's kind of in between them.
Optimum, yes. And then I'm going to be like, now now get along here. Like, you keep moving. Trying to intimidate. What is that? Oh my God, that's a natural one. Okay, so I'm clearly not doing well on the
So
intimidate.
you've already intimidated this guy earlier, and you can only demoralize something once every 10 minutes.
10 minutes. I forgot about that. I forgot. Okay. Well, I would have worked. So I guess my last. Does that still count? Because I still tried.
No.
Is this...
You don't use an action.
Oh, okay.
That's the mechanics. You forgot. You can't do that.
Okay. Then I guess. Well, it doesn't really matter because I'm just gonna raise my shield.
So here.
I don't have a whole lot to do
Ready up.
here.
Esvis, before you take your actions here, Kyrie JCB, our archer, needs a refill. By the power of chat, pumping a direct infusion of hero points
Thank you,
into
Kyrie
Esvis's
JCB.
veins.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Maybe this doesn't go horribly.
Like Romo.
All right, so just fighting through the pain is just chest just soaked in blood and this. I'll just constantly stretch the wound,
You're like all the way back over here. You're
Yeah.
off in the distance.
Okay.
I'll fix it.
But thankfully, longbow has the keyword long in it. So, just once again, hunted shot. Just
You gotta actually use the range for once.
Yeah.
You're pretty close to that 100 foot. You're actually kind of pushing. You're like probably 50 or 60 from this thing.
So I'm going to just set out another volley, just trying to get this thing away from us. Well, I mean, it is away from us, but put it down.
It has. We've successfully promoted it to away from us.
Yeah. Time to put it down. First shot. 22. Just gonna.
Kind of clips a wing.
Yeah.
Doesn't do anything meaningful.
Second
It's
shot
already pretty bloody.
is a 26.
26 will hit.
Okay. for 9 points of piercing damage, just hitting around another part of the wing, probably hitting the hard bone.
Okay.
Not doing anything meaningful. And then just take a... Actually, can battle medicine stop bleeding? Like
Battle medicine just gives you some health. Theoretically, like if you restore yourself to full health, it'd probably stop the bleeding because obviously you're not bleeding anymore. You're full health. Otherwise, no, it will functionally kind of help tend to you. You can, as 2 actions, make a medicine check against the creature's DC to give yourself another attempt to stop the bleeding, which is DC 10. So it's much more likely to stop it, but still not even guaranteed. Stopping bleeding is actually pretty hard in second edition.
Fair enough.
Well, stopping bleeding in 2 seconds with a massive gash across your chest is reasonably difficult to do.
Fair enough. I have 2 actions left. That's what I'm gonna do. Is just very quickly, like the belt that Ethos normally has for his pauldron. Just he's gonna very quickly try to loosen it and snatch it tight over his chest.
All right, make me a medicine check.
Just tape your rib cage back together.
Pretty much. A total of 20.
Out of 20, this thing has struck you pretty soundly, but that is going to give you a chance to stop bleeding so severely that it's literally killing you. So flat check, DC 10.
Come on, yellow die.
You can do it. I believe.
19!
Nice.
But it also has the advantage of not making you take damage anymore because that was before the end of your turn. So it's enough. You're still bleeding. It's still painful. Probably more painful now, but you've done enough to tourniquet it almost. It's not going to kill you.
Is that the 3rd or the 4th 19 in a row out of the yellow dice?
4th.
Dalren.
So, he's up to basically sort of his chest in the bog, but the thing has landed right there in front of him. So he's just going to go into a high guard, and lightning's going to crackle up, and some small fish will kind of belly.
Crawdads.
Single Ekujae too. The goal is to kill as much wildlife as possible to stop these Cinderclaws.
We're doing a great job, too.
Spectacular. Don't worry, we'll eat them. We'll eat them. And he's just going to start trying to launch a skewering attack right back at it. So that's a 26.
6 will hit.
And that's 19 lightning damage.
All right.
And let's take another shot for good measure. That's only a... So it's a 10. That's
Yeah,
not even...
that's definitely not going to even be able to hit it, really. It's kind of hard to keep your posture here with this fog water, and it's not even sturdy footing underneath. It's mud and muck.
Yeah, so, and no one likes not being mobile, so I'm actually going to kind of try to crawl up. I think I've got some space there. That's a 20... Oh, boy. Actually, you know what I can do? I'm going to... Oh, it's a command. Turn that on, so never mind. I'll do it anyway. I'll command on, I'll activate my bracelet. It's like an acrobatics boost bracelet, but it's got a once per day command to
speed boost,
plus
right?
10 movement speed.
So you'll have that for next round, but it takes you to activate the magic using the command is that last action.
Sadly, yes.
Resume, before we begin, Ghost of Azan, for your clever escape, would like to give you 1 hero point. That was actually pretty smart. That was pretty great.
Yeah.
Hey.
Thank you.
Point out of treasure chest there.
Thank you, my
I'll put
ghost.
my fingers in.
Yeah.
Bringing you up to 2.
I'm actually at 3.
Right? Okay.
Resme will shoot up back into her human form again, and she'll reappear somewhat behind Rur, and then she'll bead her eyes up at the bird and go, "We've had enough of this," and drop a magic missile on it.
Magic
3.
missile got 60-foot range, right?
No, it's 120,
Oh, it's
plus I
bazillion
have
range.
extend.
Oh, so you
Spell.
definitely, yeah. 3 missiles are going to fly out from Resme and absolutely crash into giant angry bird here.
6 missiles.
Oh, level
Second
3?
level.
Yeah.
3rd level magic missile?
Yeah. I want this thing to go down.
All the ones.
Hey.
Don't you put that evil
Why?
on me.
Why you do this?
Why you do this?
I blessed the 19s.
Ha!
Not all ones.
Good.
Actually, perfectly average.
16 points of damage.
With 16 points of damage, 106 on this creature as a salvo of missiles slams into it. It pulls its beak up out of the swamp and almost staggers backwards a little bit, putting its head up just like it had at the beginning. well, seems to be turning away from the party. Rear.
Turning away as in...
Back towards the southeast, like towards the camp on the other side of the island of the bog. It seems like it's shifting it entirely away from you, like almost turning its back to you.
I'm going to hold, and I'm going to say, these are pretty rare creatures. Please don't kill this one. If it's running, let it run.
And running it absolutely is. The thing is hungry, but it is not
Suicidal.
starving, nor is it suicidal. And with all those last few hits from that spell and everything it's landed on it before, it is just going to take off, the mighty flap of its wings, soaring up, tilting through the trees. And for how large it is, it's almost strange how quickly it manages to fly completely out of sight. The thing, at last glance, was certainly headed just up and away to elsewhere. No easy meal to be found for it here today, unfortunately. Close, but the thing it chose can turn into a ladybug, so... Its talons are certainly far too big to hold on to a tiny insect. No way it's going to keep that quick. With one of these enormous creatures dead here amongst the bogs, and a second gone, sounds of battle falling quieter, just returning to the normal drone, the unending sounds of the insects and the jungle around you, the rainforest in every direction.
Thank you, gentlemen. That was very gallant of you.
Oh, thinking nothing of it. Slosh, 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 slosh. Out of that.
How's look over there? I don't want to get my armor wet.
I wouldn't think you would. Goodness gracious, if I was wearing my heavier stuff, I'd never get the smell out.
So as you wade through the muck here towards the island in the center of the bog here is where you're going for?
Yes, that's closer.
Yeah, it's a closer shore. It's the kind of equidistant. You're sort of in the middle at this point. You've made a pretty good way into it.
You'd have to pirouette in the bog to go back the other way.
I'd have to leave my boot behind to do that.
You can see that this campsite, well, looks like it once pretty clearly had 3 different tents set up around a campfire. But at this point, the Quetzalcoatlus have ripped this to shreds. The tents have been knocked down, strewn across the island, one halfway just slumped in the bog. Even the ash and the logs from the fire and the stones circled around it to contain it have just been tossed in one direction by a massive swing of one part or another of the giant monsters. It's been ripped and torn asunder, but it's surprisingly undamaged. Most of it looks like it could be recovered fairly well. They didn't take the time. They weren't here to shred the tent tarps to pieces. They were here to poke through it and see what they could find. It doesn't look like it was much, really. Well, until you guys showed up, and then it was plenty.
Esphus, you look very badly hurt. Perhaps you should sit down and let Roar tend to you.
Do I really have to sit in this place?
Yes.
There's a perfectly good wet spot right over there.
There's a perfectly good wet spot all here, too.
I'll take care of it. Just come over here and sit down.
Nobody's going to make fun of you if your backside gets wet.
I'm holding on to this with my belt. Could you please make sure it doesn't open again?
Very much so.
Thank you.
So Esphus up on the island and the rest of you near this fallen Quetzalcoatlus. As Burr sits Esphus down to tend to him, how the rest of you? I believe Dara and Resme have taken some decent strikes.
I am untouched.
I am untouched.
You didn't get it all? Oh, fair enough. I was
Never
surprised
got
you
me.
did.
He's kind of clumsy when he came
Pretty much
around.
entirely Esphus just got drilled here, and Resme got slapped once, actually very lightly. With
Us
all the
frontliners are doing our job here.
And my fake hit points went away. but my
Difficult to
real hit
frontline
points-
an enormous flying creature. It turns out.
I'm like,
you have
over
little
here,
say in where
over
it chooses
here,
to go.
over here, over here. They're like, nah, it's okay.
So
I
as
don't
you,
feel like canned food today.
Yeah.
as you settle down, jungle returning back to its quieter state and start tending to Esphus. After a minute or two, are you returning? Are you staying in the central island? Is it your new home now, or are you coming back to the party?
Well, I mean, I suppose I could come back, but I don't want to waste the trip all the way out here. I can poke through the camp and see if I can find any clues about to who used it and what they had or what was here or anything interesting.
Go ahead and make me a survival check.
Survival?
Well, perception if you're just looking for stuff.
I'd appreciate that.
You just want things. Okay.
Hey, there we go. It's 28.
There's a fair bit of gear scattered throughout.
Oh, 6. I'm sorry, 26.
Still good.
Okay.
Fair bit of gear scattered throughout. It looks like there are some bows and quivers of arrows that have been strewn around. Some of them still tucked fairly comfortably in where one of the tents that just looks like it had been flattened and rolled back rather than thrown across the area. It appears to be a hunting camp. There are some knives. There's some dry logs for firewood wood wrapped up in a strange brownish thick tarp. There are a few packs that look like they've been the focus of most of their attention, with dried salted meats and jerkies, as well as some other standard what word I'm thinking of.
Trail
The thing
rations?
that you do to fruit that makes it, I guess, dry.
Dehydrate.
Dry it.
There's a word for it.
Dehydrate?
Desiccate?
Dehydrated is what I'm looking for. Maybe dehydrated fruits. A bunch of dried stuff that looks like it would last a significant amount of time on the trail, but not go bad. And they've brought a lot for a decent haul. And it looks like whoever this camp belonged to, they were planning on staying here for some time. It was not a quick in and out adventure by any stretch of the imagination.
But they left their weapons here, and they left their supplies. If they were
They
going
look
out,
like they left in an incredible hurry.
yeah, no, they absolutely just left. And if it was the dinosaurs,
They wouldn't be so hungry.
well, they would be so hungry, yes, and they probably wouldn't have gotten far. But if it was, maybe the Cinderclaws did this.
Even with some fairly loaded packs of meats and rations, with how just enormous those things were, that's like a Skittle.
Yeah.
Like if you just ate the entire backpack, it's like one Skittle. You're still hungry. It's just the size comparison just isn't there.
Okay.
So as you're picking through this, and Rur starts to tend to Esvis, you hear a voice. Dalrin, you'd be the closest to it, from the other side of the bog with this island, by some trees, calling out to you. Hail! And this would be in Mwangi. You don't speak Mwangi.
I do not.
You'd hear more Mwangi that you don't understand. Whereas you are far enough away that you can't really understand what's being said. Umtai Isildo!
Does
Ukwade!
that sound like he's speaking Mwangi with an elven accent by chance?
It does not, no. And as you turn to look, you can actually see it appears to be a half-orc.
Huh.
Possibly a three-quarters orc, even. With some fairly thick fangs jutting up over their lower lip as they speak. Short, cropped black hair, and what appears to be the tattoo of a salamander up the side of their neck onto one cheek.
Huh.
They're dressed in fairly plain but very covering leathers that would protect them from this bog and the various dangers of the jungle. And they have both their hands raised here by the tree where they could easily dart to cover, but no weapons visible save for a small knife on their belt.
Do I see any sign that they might belong to the Cinderclaws?
They don't.
Icons pinned to badge.
Their clothing appears.
They're not boggarts.
Yeah, their
so that's
clothing
good.
appears to be decently well made and in a more common style. Like this has been worked leather. This isn't even like what the Ekujae have. This is something more, almost more traditional.
Huh.
It doesn't look at all like the hodgepodge cobbled armor that the Cinderclaws wear, and you see no sign of any kind of occult badge or anything on them.
Okay. Oh, excellent. I'll just smile broadly and kind of wave at them, and then I'll kind of beckon them over. Call back. Oh, there's the locals. This might be the hunters that left the camp. We'll need a
She looks
translator.
back towards the tree as you're talking. Ruena, usizo thina.
Darling, who are you talking to?
I just said the hunters who had this camp, it seems, or at the very least some sort of
Seeming
locals.
to hear you call back to a group as well. At this distance, really, this bog here is like 60, 80 feet across. They
Yeah.
probably can't easily see your friends. They can see the giant dead monstrosity, but probably not your team back there.
You really want me to walk through that muck?
You could come along. Can't you walk on water? We walked up. Could you help her walk on water so she doesn't get her shoes dirty?
I'm busy bleeding, thanks.
A little preoccupied at the moment.
Fine.
You could turn into
You
a
can go
shark.
around this. It's kind of almost like a lake. Of
Yeah, I'm gonna go around it.
Can you talk while you're a shark? Just kind
No.
of hi, hello, people.
No,
not
I'm not a
disturbing
talking
at all.
shark. I'm gonna walk
So
around
Resume
it.
starts making her way around the bog. What are you two doing? Dalrin, show me
Well,
how
I
to do
was seeing if I could cut up some of this meat, but I guess I'm gonna follow Resme.
See if there's any fangs in the beak.
There might be. You never know. I don't know these type of creatures, but yeah, I'm just gonna follow Resme.
So as the two of you head over, you're Resme for now, saying
Okay.
she's going to speak Mongi, so pretend to be Resme.
Okay.
So we'll assume she's translating, and you can just talk to them.
That'll
Right.
work.
Friend?
Yes, we're all here.
And as Resme
we're
makes it appear
Resme
that
things.
she speaks Mongi. It becomes easier. You slew a beast of that size. How many hunters on your party?
I would you probably count us. There are 5 of us.
There were 2 of them. You are.
We have magic, she'll say in Mwangi.
And as you get around closer, still approaching here, you can see there are 2 more people behind the tree kind of waiting with this other half-orc. All 3 of them clearly half-orcs. One, a massive, hugely hulking brute who is enormous in every sense except for tall. He's only probably about 5'6", but he makes up for it in just sheer bulk, standing behind the tree, really eerily eyeing you guys. And another one that is a taller, a bit more slender woman. All 3 of them wearing similar gear. Only the one who stepped out to speak has a knife. The rest of them don't seem to have much of anything with them. You hunt with magic.
We hunt our enemies with magic.
And Avro kind of looks to the pair of you that he was still on the island, the other sword, and Buford, I imagine, stand there, clearly waiting for translations, and points to himself. Jimmy. Easy name.
Buddy. Also a pretty easy name.
And doesn't appear to know a single word of Taldane, so this is all still
Yeah,
going
I'm
through
translating.
Resume as she translates. That is an impressive hunt. They appeared at our camp. We ran.
A wise
We did
decision.
not come to face death to wildlife.
Why did you come?
And the half-orcs all just kind of look amongst themselves. We've our own reasons for our hunt.
That's fair.
And they slowly kind of lowers their hands a bit, becoming a little more comfortable as you don't appear to be imminently seeming to murder them.
I do see that there's a thinner area to the left there where there's a tree seemingly soaking up most of the bog. I'll try to
You kind
cross
of pick
there.
your way across the
Yeah.
berm of the roots and circle around to the rest of the group.
Have you seen the Cinderclaws? She'll try to describe what she's looking for. We're hunting them.
Shaking their head. We are not from this land. These are not our forests.
Where are you from?
East. And the larger, shorter man in the back barks out, "We are demon hunters!"
Are there demons around here that need hunting?
Describe what you mean by demon.
And Jimmy reaches out and smacks the man. Their hunt is ours. Your hunt is yours. And looks at Doran, seeing you. You are Ekujae.
No.
It's a word that all of you understand.
Yeah.
Ekujae. Oh, it doesn't change language barrier.
No. But the Cinderclaws and them are in a war here. Cinderclaws are a cult. They're very violent. Have attacked many, including our home as well. We're here to take the fight back to them.
You want to toss me a diplomacy check, Charisma? As
Sure.
you want translating all of this anyway. You'd be the one that's actually saying these things.
That's gonna be my session reroll because apparently I can't roll higher than a 5 on a
Really bad at
diplomacy
diplomacy
check.
specifically.
It's like what I'm supposed to be good at. No.
I'm threatening it.
Oh, okay.
Gotta see the jail.
See?
Thank you. It's gonna be a 32.
But the 32 is a solid roll, and as you kind of tell them a little tale here of what it is that you're after, why you're even here in the first place, the three of them do appear to relax a good deal, as it becomes apparent that you are not enemies, nor are you Ekujae. And as you talk to them, you realize that they become more comfortable as they realize that you aren't Ekujae.
Man, those people don't make friends.
You've got Galenor as the first greeting party, no wonder.
And as you finish your explanation to Cinderclaws and everything, Jimmy motions the other two orcs towards the island.
They're no threat to us. This isn't an Ekujae patrol. We need to get the camp prepared before nightfall.
Speaking of which, you know, this we can hold a real good barbecue with this meat over here. You know, I don't suppose it could be too much different than chicken.
There's nothing wrong with sharing it after all. It's too massive
I
for
mean,
us
the
to be
amount
able to
of
even
it
carry away
here
with
is,
us.
yeah, it's pretty phenomenal.
And
I'll attempt to translate Buddy.
not so much of a smile, but clearly relaxing a bit. Jimmy's shoulders going a little looser as they move to sort of peer over towards their camp.
They don't know anything of the problems that plague these forests, but as we'd come this deep into Ekujae lands without being accosted by one of their patrols, we'd assumed something was wrong.
Indeed, they're involved in a desperate struggle with this Cinderclaw cult. As I've said, they've caused a great deal of trouble. They've driven away the Elephant tribe to the west of here and caused a great deal of havoc.
Well, the worries of their lands are theirs to handle. And if there's one thing we know of the Ekujae, not only would they not accept help, they're certain not to seek it, unless they were truly desperate.
Oh, they must
They
be quite
seem,
desperate
yeah,
then.
they seem rather desperate.
They have they seem to have put aside their traditional enmity and have tried to make, I wouldn't go so far as to say friends, but at the very least allies of our group.
You have gear to rest the night. You've been traveling. Come, camp with us. This island is protected by the bogs from threats that don't possess wings, at the very least.
Of
Be
course.
fairly large threats, though, unfortunately.
Well, we'll handle them if they show back up.
Yes, we have some magic that will alert us if things get close.
So as you follow Jimmy, who'd pick his way across the berms here, it's back doing the opposite of what Dalrena did, back towards the island, to pick through what's left. You get some amount of their tale, what they're here for and what's happened. As you tell a little more of the Cinderclaw, they tell you about where they've come from. And you finish up treating Esphus so they can join as well. You want to roll me your medicine check here?
Expert.
Okay, well that's a natural 1, so...
He breaks Esphus's nose.
Takes a rock. Whap!
I said it before I saw him. Yeah, but this is gonna be expert. And that was from Turnip
What's that bring you down to? 1?
into a natural 20. Yeah, I have 1.
Okay.
So,
Every time I look over, can you spend one? The name overlay is up, and I can't see it.
That was a nat 20.
Nat
Yeah.
20 will obviously critically succeed, healing him for 4d8 plus 10.
D10s.
4d10 plus 10.
Wow.
Fancy healer.
Because fancy healing powers.
I need a D10. We're
These
rapidly
are my only
approaching
huge bases.
that I have
Give
way
them
too
back
much
to me,
healing.
thank you.
You still need huge bases,
Still
do
need
you?
them, huh?
Wow.
No?
Okay.
I'm mitigating.
I would assume you're at full health now.
Yeah,
Because
that's 42.
Wow, okay. Everyone's gotten pretty good at this, actually. He is a modern miracle. Even his mundane healing augmented by some amount of his divine magic.
No, it's more than that.
Close
No,
even
because
though
you did 32 on him.
It's a crit.
the crit's plus 10.
Right, I added the plus 10.
Oh, crit's actually plus 2d8. It's plus 10 because it's expert.
Oh,
48.
I thought it was the 48 and then the plus 10 was the crit.
48 is the
Yeah.
crit. Okay.
So you're at full health.
I'm definitely
Yes.
at full. You just,
Yeah.
So as you all gather around here,
Thank you, friend.
the camp slowly being rebuilt with the 3 orcs. The other 2 kind of joking amongst themselves as Jimmy occasionally gives them command and tries to keep them somewhat on task here. The rest of you setting up your things here as well. Renali assuming they will find her way to you sometime before nightfall, hopefully. Do the general heading that you were following. We are Rainkin. Morgosh speaks bluntly, but true. Demon hunters. We've come to these lands tracking a demon that's wronged us.
Imagine that's what demons do.
What kind of demon?
A subtle one. Who works their evils, their magics. They're a guise. A human guise. Looking to be one of the native Mongi peoples.
So a god possessed someone.
God, they may believe themselves, but this creature we track, Kishi, blood is drawn from it as any other.
What does its natural form look like?
A beast of 2 maws. Its true face hidden behind its head. A friendly one put forward.
If it looks like a human normally, is it just one human or can it shapeshift? Because if we knew what it looked like, we could be on the lookout.
The thing can take whatever guise it pleases.
Oh.
Whatever subterfuge it can enact to work its way close to its prey.
Would that be like a knowledge? It'll probably be really difficult. Knowledge
I think
religion.
definitely is like not really. This half-orc's not giving you a ton to go on here. Jimmy doesn't have a.
So how will you recognize it if you find it? After all, if it looks like any other native.
It leaves signs, like any other quarry. We're raised as demon hunters, amongst our people. The Renkan are quite good at it.
Interesting.
So, just because of the weirdness of this situation, I'm going to be a little skeptical. Does he seem like he's lying about any of this?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
It's just like, that's a really weird way of saying this could be anyone. We might have to kill random people. 31.
At 31, Ginny seems like he's reasonably lying to you at this point. He seems to have assumed that, or she seems to have assumed that you were forward with her, and she's being relatively forward with you. But she's still kind of cagey about the details of her mission and just giving you the basics. It doesn't seem like a working around to I'm going to start murdering you at random in case you are Akishi.
I'm kind of worried about our companion who's going to show up sometime before nightfall to tell us about that other hex she went and explored, who uses illusion to hide her true form.
They've stalked this demon through the trees for some time. 2 weeks now. They're near. I believe not far across the river. The demon has its own hunt. Easier to follow the signs of its prey.
What is it hunting?
Demon hates that which it cannot be. Forces of good, purity. It stalks an angel through the trees.
An angel?
Now what did we stumble upon here? What is going on in this forest?
No.
What kind of angel?
It doesn't matter. It's set upon by the Kishi. It will be meat, just as this beast you have slain today.
Were you literal when you said that it has 2 faces?
It does. It bears one on the fronts, to speak, to deceive. Hides one amongst its hair, the back of its head.
Sounds a lot like my mother.
A face much more bestial with ripping jaws. It brings to bear when it brings the kill on that it's tracking.
Okay, so I hope, Dalran, you're keeping a list of things that we should be looking out for in this forest, because it's getting real long.
Right now, it's just about everything.
Everything.
So you've met with the Ekujae then?
We have.
If you work with them, know that we mean no trespass. But we had hoped that they would see the justice, the worthiness in our quest, and if not aiding us, would at least abide our presence in their territory.
Well, it's certainly we're not here to be border guards for the Ekujae, so please put yourself at ease as far as that's concerned. As I said, the Cinderclaw camp may be nearby here. We've been tracking a raiding party of theirs, so do be careful of them. There are other dangerous factions here now aside from the Ekujae. In fact, they've pushed the Ekujae back quite a ways towards their hometown.
With a dismissive hand gesture.
The jungles are never safe. We know the risks we take.
Very good, then.
And so she's kind of helping around with the rest of the half-orcs to kind of repair their camp as they can. She's rooting around in what appears to have been her tent. And she pulls out a spear, a wooden spiraled haft extending 4 or 5 feet to almost a harpoon's tip. The fangs at the bottom of it jutting down even a few inches beyond the top of the haft of the spear itself. So she pulls this out, holding it like a treasure more than a weapon. And she kneels down, facing away from you towards your tent, and bows her head over it for a moment, just cutting off the conversation silently.
Can I get an identify item on that? Does it have any...
Without having it, really.
Oh, okay.
It does appear to quite clearly, given its fully intact state, doesn't even seem to be dirty. Very obviously magical. But as to what, unclear.
Perhaps this is some sort of religious or spiritual ceremony that they have to do at a specific time of day. She's been very nice so far, so I don't think she's intentionally trying to be rude.
As she places the spear back down at the bottom of the tarp inside of her tent, stands back up and hands back to the party.
That spear belongs to my nephew. And thanks to this Kishi, he'll never see fit to wield it again. I won't return home until the demon's heart's been pierced by its blade. He has tasted vengeance.
Oh, good luck with your
Good
vendetta.
luck, yeah. I mean, I really hope that goes well for you, man.
Although if we come across this beast, we'll of course deal with it.
You're clearly valiant hunters, skilled and powerful. We can track this creature, but this demon is strong. If you would aid us, you would have our gratitude. The hunt will be some days from now.
Well,
This track's fresh, but not within a sun or two. Passed through this area within the week. Of that we're certain.
I mean, we are technically exploring this jungle anyway, so I mean, if it's exploring and we just happen to fall on something else, I don't see any problem with it.
I mean,
Fair enough, but we should probably not forget our primary purpose here. We should at least follow these Cinderclaw tracks to the end, if for no other reason than to find their home base. But I see no reason why we couldn't. Sounds like a worthy mission at the
And
very
Jimmy
least.
gestures out to vaguely the northwest, back largely towards Akrivel.
We'd worried. Trespassing so far in Ekujae lands, the demon's tracks seem to head straight towards the Leopard clan's village. We believe this Kishi is not far beyond the river.
well, for no other reason than... I mean, one of the reasons we're doing this is to help protect the Ekujae, but I don't feel particularly comfortable with this type of threat wandering around the jungle and us not knowing where it is or what it can do. I don't like having an enemy, an unfamiliar enemy, at my back while I'm going about my business.
Well, as Jimmy said, this is the jungle. We have unfriendly enemies at our backs everywhere.
But those are animals. They will defend themselves, but they're not specifically intentionally looking to be evil. They're just instinctually doing what they do.
Either way, they eat us. They eat us. But I see your point.
So that you aren't planning on heading out for a couple more days then?
We leave on the morrow. We must pursue this demon lest he elude us. Though, we are clearly powerful hunters. I swallow my pride for the purpose of succeeding in this hunt. Asking for aid in such a sacred task. This beast.
And she motions ahead over towards Esphus, wherever he is.
Will find difficulty bringing down as easily as even something this massive.
And pulls out the dagger on her hip just a bit to show a bit of the blade. You can see the blade is not standard steel. It's almost a light sky blue metal that it's made of.
Demon's form looks human. The conventional weapons, bows and arrows, have no effect upon his hide. Demon bane needed.
Slides the knife back into its hilt.
Well, then I don't actually see what use we're going to be doing unless... Well, I guess, does magic work?
No, you have the fiend, the silver hammer.
Oh, but that's not Fiend Blade, is it?
Well, it's the Hell Knight certainly seemed to think it was sufficient.
Oh, okay. Well, then I mean, I do have that
It's
one.
technically devils, but go ahead and give me a religion check, whoever really...
28.
With a 28, you would know that a silvered weapon like that the Hell Knights had for explicitly the purpose of killing devils. Because it's not just normal metal silver. I mean, it's not something that Buford would know. This is something that Burr and Resnay would be able to tell you. That is absolutely a weapon for explicitly killing devils and outsiders. That's what that material is made for. Whereas those creatures... It's a whole spectrum, really. Some are very natively resistant to traditional steel weapons. Some are simply exceptionally weak to things like that.
Roar,
Yes?
if we were to change the object of your spell, perhaps we could find them faster.
And as you
I do need a target.
as you explain
We
to
have the name.
Buford that he has the silvered hammer there that'll work, Jimmy shakes her head.
Not silver. We're not hunting werebeasts. Cold iron.
Hold on.
Old iron. Well, it's a forging technique.
It's actually cold iron is a different metal.
Yeah.
Oh, it is in this in Pathfinder?
Cold iron is a different material.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, never mind.
Like alchemical silver, cold iron is something that we've made a weapon we made from that would give it potent properties. And with that same religion check, you would actually know, Resume probably just without even a roll really with your druidic background, that cold iron isn't so much for devils as it is. I mean, it has some effect. Yeah, that's Faebane. That's for killing fairies and faefolk.
Huh. I won't say this in Mwangi. I'll say it to you guys in Taldane. So I'm thinking to them, they call them demons because that's how they know them. But I'm thinking they're hunting fae. Colds. You would use that to hunt the Faein, not demons. The druids use it for that purpose. I've held many a weapon.
And it's a brief bit of a world-building Pathfindery for those that might not be aware, because this is something all of your characters would just know from living here. Pathfinder fairies are not like your happy catch them in a bottle and they revive you when you die out of the goodness of their heart. Or 8 of them, I think, is how many they give you.
They're like Irish folklore fairies.
They're like, we're going, this is Irish folklore fairies.
Do not mess with these.
They are Irish or like Witcher fairies.
Yep.
Like, they are not friendly. They can be. The Fae are a huge spectrum of creatures that exist, almost much like Outsider. It's a massive banner. But they are not known for being helpful or friendly. Fae and Pathfinder are things like will-o-wisps that lure people out into the swamps and literally suck out their life force and kill them. Like, they are a huge problem because they are both so powerful and so alien. They're not even of this world. They are, by definition, a type of outsider. But technically, so are gnomes, so we're not going to go down that rabbit hole. But
They are also actively trying to take over the entirety of Taldor and suck it back into their.
the one nation of Fae, yes, is attempting to use the Verudin Forest to eat half of the Inner Sea region, but there's a whole spectrum.
That's
of Fae,
somebody
but
else's
they're
problem. That's what
generally
that is.
not friendly creatures. So them being known as demons by these Rainkin is no stretch whatsoever.
Do they have extra arrows of this type?
They might. Do you have any other cold steel weapons so that we might assist you if we're not using magic?
We bore only our own blades. We hadn't expected finding fast friends in the Ekujae territories.
That's fair enough. These creatures, they are an enemy of my people as well. I would feel very uncomfortable leaving one out here to attend to its own ends.
Well, it certainly wouldn't do to have it. If it's something that we could certainly run into ourselves, it would probably be wise to make sure we face it on our terms, especially if it's something that resists most of the weapons that we have.
Would I know if would magic have the same effect on these creatures as
It's all over the place.
it's all over the place? It just depends on what kind of Fae.
Yeah, the only consistent weakness Fae have are cold iron weapons.
Cold iron weapons, yeah.
Some,
dying.
Yeah, some are just phenomenally resilient to magic as well. Some, like dryads, are as weak to fire as your average shrubbery. So it's the entire spectrum, really. It could be anything. Without knowing more about the Fae you're tracking, no way to know.
I think we're on the right path as far as finding the Cinderclaws. So, if it's only a day or two diversion,
I mean, they're still going to be here.
then let the Ekujae be blind for a day or two more. I say we help them.
I agree.
I could very easily lead us back to this particular island.
Fair enough. I don't feel right about leaving these tracks that we've been following, and certainly leaving the Cinderclaws to cause yet more mischief, but
The tracks won't be able to go anywhere. They can't cover that up.
Well, they can
as you
wash
are
away,
following
but-
them, you've been tracking them along through the swamp, and they are, at this point, fairly fresh, also within the last few days. So you're not far from where these Cinderclaw tracks lead.
fair enough then. However you like.
We're in agreement then. We'll help.
We'll help you.
As Jimmy nods. And tonight, we'll feast on this meat. Too large to bear with us.
Yeah, I got some real good sauce. Now, I've been packing this sauce for exactly this moment now. You know, this is good for chicken, but I think this
Jimmy
is about
just
the
kinda
same
looks at
thing.
Resume waiting to translate now.
Resume is trying to figure out how to translate buddy. There's Taldane and then there's Buddy Taldane.
So a little
Speak
later,
English and bad English.
a little later in the evening here, Renali and Valia would turn back up, coming much the same direction as Yulon had into this area originally. Resume very possibly just having found your tracks at some point and following you here. You are a fairly distinctive group. Small hairy toe prints, 3 regular boot prints, massive 4-inch deep metal boots. Pretty distinctive. But as they show back up, Renali waving and you introducing her to your new half-elfin friends here.
Half-orc.
Half-orcish friends here.
Interesting elves.
Valia picking her way across I believe in Pathfinder, it's technically the same string, similar a la Tolkien, but I'm not positive, don't quote me on that. Valia picking her way across the berm of the roots, much like Dalren had to reach the island. You've certainly found yourself an interesting place to rest for the evening. I can't imagine a more unpleasant one. Why this island?
Well, it's a nostalgia thing.
Well, also, large land beasts will have to cross the bog before they get here. And also our new acquaintances were already set up here.
Interesting. Well, and she turns to whoever the nearest half-orc is at the time and nods. Lady Valia Argans Asimov. Let's make your acquaintance. And brutish half-orc just kind of looks at her.
I should probably translate. They don't speak Taldane.
And turns and just kind of Grabs your resume's sleeve.
I'll translate. Oh, this is going to be awkward.
Spend some time attempting to introduce Valia to the half-orcs here with some limited success, and very quick falling back to her etiquette guide that she keeps on her belt. No real idea of how to interact with, well,
Anyone.
the peoples who she shares no, well, fair. But the peoples with whom she shares no language and functionally no culture whatsoever. The camp here, with the assistance of the half-orcs who've been camping through the jungle and Renali for some time, is going to require no check, as they already had this pretty established on the island. With the addition of your mosquito netting that you've gotten from the Ekujae, it's only going to get better. You rest here for the evening. Renali, having plenty of time to tell you that she found, well, not really much of anything in the day's journeys. Having scouted out this hex here, she's determined there's really nothing of value. It seems to be as barren as most of those you've trekked through so far. That said, for the purposes of simplicity, because I'm sure your characters will all be kind of keeping their own maps here, we'll just unhide this 4. That's the elephant people's camp.
Oh, okay.
So because you would have that noted well where that was, and it doesn't look any visually different on the map than anything else, so I'm going to give you a 4.
Woo!
That you got there.
Oh, the 4 appeared.
Enjoy your giant 4.
Sorry to... Do Fae count as extraplanar?
I don't believe so, no. Extraplanar is a trait, generally. That's outsiders.
Well, you had said they were a type of outsider.
They technically are, but...
They might not have that trait.
The
It's
first
a
world,
really weird.
Yeah, the first world versus the material plane is a strange distinction. They're both technically out extraplanar, but the first world is also technically the same plane as the material plane. It's a really interesting lore intersection.
I'm trying to figure out whether or not my shillelagh does more damage against them.
It would not have extraplanar shillelagh damage. No.
Okay, cool. That's what I
In
was...
fact, most primal spells would probably draw upon magic from the first world to be cast in the first place. That is the primary font of primal magic.
Thanks. I wanted to see what tag it had to see whether or not that was a thing.
I cast
Pardon
bonk.
Pardon my
Really
interruption.
good spell. So you rest here for the evening with Jimmy and some new half-orc friends. And as you awaken the following morning, safe, protected by the moat and the island you have here, Jimmy and the Rankin Demon Hunters very ready to begin their journey. They want to proceed off into the hex that you've just had Renelli scout. Their track leads that way. And with them, that's where your day's journey will take you.
That's fine. I suppose. Show us the way.
What do you want Renali to do? Head forward and pre-make camp, explore?
It would be great if she could continue exploring to the east. Maybe she could find the Cinderclaws location and let us know.
It certainly seems like it's a relatively good idea. So as the pair of you were just going to head forward back here, you want Renali to go where?
Which way did the tracks go? Would it?
Tracks looks like they would have gone probably northeast.
Yeah,
Probably
so
northeast
that way,
then.
just
Yeah,
following
that's
the
fine.
tracks.
Yeah.
Okay. So throughout the day, as you begin to travel, retreading back through the bog here, somewhat in the direction from whence you've came, the morning is particularly windy. And as you get closer to the river and the tree line starts to spread a bit more, there's pretty heavy winds pulling through the rainforest, with the occasional faint, slight bit of drizzle, but fortunately mostly a dry wind. Not so much it's unpleasant or difficult to walk through, but enough that it would be difficult to shoot a bow at a decent range. But as you travel, Jimmy and his allies very much focusing on their tracks. The rest of you are free largely to just travel much as you normally have. Even easier, as a matter of fact, because you don't really have to do anything other than just kind of follow Jimmy's lead. And
Would show the way assist them in following these tracks?
if you want to cast as your allies and you want to help them,
Yeah.
then you absolutely would.
I just wanted to make sure for the purposes of
It affects your allies, so it's whoever you really want to benefit from. It's divine magic. It goes where you tell it to go.
You have a question. Javelins, do they break as like ammunition?
No, thrown weapons you get back. So you can retrieve your javelin.
Could you imagine thrown hammer just shatters?
Yeah. What do you think?
Oh.
Silver fragments everywhere.
definitely a low quality silver hammer.
And you travel throughout the day with a little bit less of even the standard jungle sounds. As you get closer to evening, the drizzle starts to become a little more constant. The bit of rain bringing out some of the jungle wildlife, but driving most of it back into shelters. At the very least, quelling a lot of the insects that you constantly have to deal with. And by the time you've reached up here and are prepared to settle down for the evening, this gentle rain is starting to become a pretty heavy downfall.
So this was the day where Show the Way would cover 2 hexes.
However, with the wind and the growing heavy rain,
I was just making sure.
travel is actually going to be even slower than normal, and were it not for your magic, it may have been difficult to even make it out to the river, given this afternoon. But with as Jimmy and the Rainkin Hunters pull out their tents and their bedrolls and everything, preparing to set up, it only seems like there's really so much you can do against the steadily increasing downpour.
Probably steer clear of the river.
That's true. Is this a floodplain? Jungle lore, if it matters?
Sure, go ahead and roll that.
12 plus 11, 23.
The 23, it's hard to tell. It's a marshy bog, so it seems likely that were the tributary here to flood up, it could engulf a decent amount of this area, but it's not much higher than the surface of the river itself.
Yes, we may want to seek some higher ground, even if we do get wet in the rain. The trees, any?
Here on the riverbank, the trees are thick enough that it would be possible with Renali's help to have one of her general silk tarps, but it would be somewhat difficult to set up in them effectively, certainly at least comfortably.
Oh, you don't need to be comfortable. I don't want my armor washing away.
Comfortable and safe versus... Or comfortable and not safe versus uncomfortable and not drowning.
I could pull out the wagon.
Valia
we
having
left it
traveled...
back at Akrivel, didn't we?
Nope. I
You
shrunk it
it.
down.
You shrunk it down.
Valia having traveled with you today, as Renali was going the other direction, is going to have to make quite huge travel to keep up with the rest of you. It's certainly somewhat concerning, I believe, but it looks to me like this river is large enough that some amount of rainfall, even a few days' worth, wouldn't do much to raise its shores more than a few inches, I'd wager. Though this is far from my area of expertise, so I defer to you, Master Dolan.
Well, at the very least, we should probably get our supplies off the ground.
And Jimmy, at that point, would pull out of his bag a much larger, it seems like a netting, like a fairly fine netting, so like a thick fishing nets almost. And turn to Resume. I bring these. And you here helping the Ekujae. Did they not give you preparations? Hanging bags to store your goods amongst the branches.
We could do that, or we could put them in the wagon.
You have no wagon.
We could have a wagon.
Be near impossible to draw through the woods.
Oh, impossible is such a silly word.
She bends the possibility on a daily basis, but no. I think hanging our packs and our bags high up off the ground would at least ensure that they don't wash away should the river overflow its banks.
We'll need some time in the morning to prepare and find the track on the other side of this riverbank here. Wrecking a demon across the water is difficult.
I imagine the demon crosses the river much like anyone else.
Leaves no track, much like anyone else.
Have you decided whether or not you want to sleep in the rain?
I thought we were hanging our packs in the branches and then just
I don't
settling
think
down.
your
I
wagon
thought
is
that
really-
was settled.
So you have 5 of you, Valia, Renali, and 3
Oh no, not all of
demon
us.
hunters. So
I was just saying that if a couple of people wanted to sleep
You
in the
could-
wagon,
You could heap a couple of people like the rat hammock, like up to maybe 2 or 3 of you in the wagon, but having more than one person sleeping in the wagon would be difficult to
Awkward.
do comfortably.
fair
Because
enough.
it's not designed for your wagon. It's a personal wagon.
It's a
maybe
personal
a
wagon.
two-personal wagon. Not a 10-personal wagon by any stretch of the imagination.
Could be fun.
But are you popping out the wagon?
Not if we're just gonna hang everything up. There's no point.
So as Renali returns, Who wants to make the survival check here? Now, with Jimmy's assistance, you are going to get a +2. Because she is she lives in the jungle and she's very well traveled, and specifically in this. So
give
she'll
it a
aid
shot.
you.
So getting a +2 to this. Number 5.
Told
Rolled
you.
5 19s in a row.
Yeah, on the
Why do
yellow.
you roll other d20s?
Just roll that
clearly
one.
weighted one.
It'll see, this will only be for today.
Because I said the 19 was gonna, or the yellow was gonna carry him for the day. It's choosing to heed my
So
words.
what's that give you?
That's a 32 survival.
With the 32, here amongst the rainfall on the ground of the riverbanks with the thick trees and foliage, you're fairly confident that even with minor efforts to camouflage your camp, it's virtually impossible that anything's really going to set upon you on the night. Renali returns with some interesting news. I followed the trails you sent me up into along the east, following the riverbanks. It gets deeper. The bog becomes thick, difficult to travel. I had to use the trees. There is precious little ground even to stand upon. But I am certain I found the source of the tracks.
Ooh.
What must be the base of the Cinderclaws, their home. But it is protected. It has shell, is word?
Shell.
Like a
walls.
turtle, but magic.
Oh,
The
it has a
blinding
ward.
barrier.
Or a shield of some sort.
I bet that's the blinding barrier.
Huh.
It has a shell cast up from the swamp waters around it. It has every color of the rainbow flowing through it, almost like bubble,
Huh.
but much larger.
That must require a great deal of power to pull such a thing off. Huh.
Well, I saw, looking around its base, I could not get very close, not safely. It is more like your homes, like citadel on the hill, than a village.
They built something more permanent.
Fortress.
Something defensible.
Yeah.
It is like the castle back from your homeland, but of wood rather than stone.
Makes sense. Have a lot of it.
Towers, walls, guards. I could see their fires, but all kept within this bubble. I saw near, as close as I could get, in the swamp waters at the base of this bubble, this shell, what seemed bigger, but same as the totem from the portal.
Didn't you say that that totem that they were trying to build back at the temple was some sort of conduit?
Yes.
If they have more of these, perhaps that's how they're drawing this power to create to be able to generate this shield.
It's possible that this is either the source of the conduits, or it could even be a conduit itself. I'd have to look at it to know more.
Well, we won't be able to look at it because it's behind the shield, but perhaps if we scour the jungle, we may find more of these that are where they're pulling their power from.
You
I
said
could-
it was made of wood, right?
The fortress itself, but it is in swamp. The wood certainly will not burn easy.
Not easily, but that might be a course of action we could take to at least stir the ant nest, so
Well,
to speak.
It would certainly get their attention, but
A
If you wish
distraction.
to provoke them, even from my distance, I did not get much closer than maybe quarter mile to this castle of theirs. Dozens of Cinderclaws within. Hundreds, maybe.
good thing I brought a bigger sack. Well then,
Well, that's good information. It'll prepare us for what we need to do when we finally get to them.
It sounds like it would be rather unproductive to assault the fortress right now. We should go and try to find more information about the source of this power that they have protecting the place and perhaps disrupt it.
So for the day, I'm switching up my primal spells
Okay.
that I prepare. I'm going to prepare Negate Aroma and Summon Fae.
Summon Fae.
I know what you are. I'm gonna summon one of you.
We're gonna bring a Fae to fight a Fae.
I don't know anything about them, so I figured that's as good a thing as anything. And if Esphus
Oh, you
is
just
gonna
use it as phone a friend.
yeah, exactly. And if Esphus wants to sneak up on them, I think it's better that he doesn't have an aroma when he does so.
Well, thank you.
Nothing worse than trying to sneak up with a very stinky hunter.
A lot of things have imprecise scent, so
A lot of things have imprecise sense. Very, very common ability to be sure. So, still though, none of this really changes what's going to be happening today, as for now, you are simply camping, resting for the evening, and preparing yourselves to continue on the morrow, following along with Jimmy
The
and
nose.
his hunt. Jimmy the Nose. This is certainly a
I'm
reference to something I don't know.
It's like a mobster.
I'm sorry,
nickname.
whenever you
Is
say
it just
Jimmy,
a generic mobster name?
It's a very generic mobster
Because it did
name.
sound like a generic mobster name. I just didn't really know anything beyond that.
he could also be Jimmy the Shoeshine Orc.
That is a
you-
reference to Police Squad, which is a fantastic TV show.
You rest for the evening in a well camouflaged and comfortable enough camp, and you awaken the next morning. I have such a hard time with this. The one thing I gotta remember in Arkenforge is that it is not Roll20, and that every time I leave a map, I have to save it. 'Cause if it doesn't happen automatically. It's gotten me about 50 times now, and I just don't learn from experience clearly because I keep making the same mistakes. The following morning, the heavy rain fortunately petering off sometime in the night. So rather than waking up completely and thoroughly soaked, you just wake up moderately damp. What was the plan? Keep following along with Jimmy?
Yep.
Yeah.
So her plan is going to be relatively simple. Cross the river due north the straightest way that you can, and then proceed onward from there to, well,
Kill the Batman.
whatever.
We're going this way. Would it work for O'Nally to check out over here?
Probably a good plan.
Yep.
That
Don't
way
wanna
we
have to
don't
double
wind up with
back.
some holes.
Yeah.
We can certainly do that. So you and Jimmy will head north across the river, and Renali will take Valia and head vaguely off that way. Sounds about right?
Yep.
Just puts Volley in a
Just
wet
puts Valley in
silk
a
papoose.
cocoon and takes it around.
So, sky is somewhat overcast. Some of yesterday's, last evening's storms, rather, less light than usual. The group of you strike out north across the river, very loosely heading back from whence you came to some extent. Crossing the river really is no particular difficulty. It's not astronomically challenging to do. It does take some amount of the time out of the day, but it's only so difficult. The other side, you continue much as you always have, having left the bogs and, thankfully, I'm sure, to everyone, returned to the drier grounds that rise up a bit higher from the river. The more traditional jungles, the rainforest around Akrivel, where you can walk on dirt that maybe crunches instead of just sticks and suctions your boots. Nothing of real interest happens throughout the day. And with a few hours left in your journey for this afternoon, Jimmy telling you the tracks are becoming very fresh and he expects, hopefully, to come upon this Kishi within a day or two. The trees break a little way into somewhat of a clearing. It's certainly not an open clearing. It's a slightly less dense section of the forest, which is a very different thing than an open clearing. The group of you come around a corner. Come around a corner of a tree, rather. Come around a massive trunk. Picking through some undergrowth here, darker sections of the map being difficult terrain. And as the group of you wheels around, you see what appears to be a very similar totem to what you had found back at the portal. But this one nearly lime green. The skull sitting atop the 10-foot wooden post, surrounded with small spikes and fetishes about its base, emanating a faint light, a visible bright green glow in the eyes, with tendrils of smoke trailing out of them. And as you come around the corner to this thing, and you see it, it sees you. It's not the direction that you're heading. It's kind of off to the side in the clearing, but it's pretty large and difficult to miss, really. It doesn't turn. It makes no motion. It's neither alive nor sentient, clearly. It is a stick with a carved skull sitting on top of it.
But it sees us.
But it clearly sees you as, with an audible blast, a green beam shoots out from the eyes directly toward whoever happens to be closest as you're walking by, which is Dalren.
Okay. Ah! Try to dodge it, I suppose.
Get down, Mr. President.
This beam is going to strike you for a 39.
Ouch.
39 to hit, dude. He crit you.
39 to hit.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's an attack roll.
It is an
Okay.
attack roll.
That is a critical hit.
I need you to make me a reflex save. You attempt to dodge somewhat out of the way of this blast.
27.
A 27 will succeed, so you'll take half.
Yep.
And as this beam, this laser, grazes across Dalren, you see it rack him with pain, as he is going to take half is 14 poison damage from a strange affliction that seems to burn through your very veins. Almost alerted by this sound, still in this very same second, you see a pair of dragons swoop down from the trees near the totem,
Are you freaking kidding me?
rushing to its defense.
Like
We'll
actual
defend.
dragons?
Let's take our break. Let's take our break real quick here.
But I want to fight the dragons.
We will fight the dragons.
I want to shrink their post down and stomp on it.
It'll shoot.
They're real
We
dragons!
return.
They're actual dragons!
We are going to deal with the Cinderclaws' far more powerful defenders. A pair of actual frickin' dragons swooping down out of the trees
And Dalren's going to make little girl noises.
to defend this totem.
Buddy's gonna make little girl noises.
Well,
I don't
Darren's
know.
gonna make excited little girl noises.
Yeah.
Buddy's gonna make. Oh, we're gonna die.
I'm gonna be like,
little girl noises.
That was the best noise
In a
ever.
couple of minutes, refill your drinks, stretch your legs. When we return, oh, it's battle time. Be right back. Alrighty, welcome back, everybody. Oh, this is gonna go great. This is gonna go great. That's the worst that could possibly happen.
Death.
So, as we left off, a pair of green dragons, almost serpentile, clinging to the branches with clawed feet and hands at the tips of their wings. Long and almost snake-like necks leading to a horned head. Green throughout, not quite as vibrant as the totem itself, but oddly a matching team here. Swooping down from the trees, alerted by the blast of this eye laser that came out of the totem, rushing to its defense. You know I'm gonna need some initiative. You know what's gonna happen.
Everybody go +1.
Hey.
We'll do this backwards style. We'll do Dragon 1 has a 30.
Wait.
You're gonna want to move that over.
Dragon 2 has not 30. Dragon 2 has a 21. And Post has a 29. So, buddy.
35.
Esvis.
25.
Alright.
21. Players been ties.
How do I put you in this?
Yay.
You good.
Let
Resume?
me win the
22.
tie.
Please let me go before the dragon eats me. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, I got plenty of space here. Rur.
31.
Put this right in here.
Look at that
Perfect.
fit.
Look, it's
Man.
beautiful. I love these little hanger things that you've 3D printed for me. They're so good. Buddy, as you see this laser blast Esvis and see him wince in pain.
Dalrin.
Dalrin. See him wince in pain.
We elves all look alike.
I know, right?
Freaking elves.
I'm going to leap in front of Dalren, or the group as a whole.
Put all of you on a
And
square here first of all. Probably makes it a little bit easier. Ding. There we go.
Eh.
and when I say in front of him, I mean next to him, so I can still be within 15 feet of Esvis.
Okay. Alongside him.
Yeah. What? Am I within 15 feet of Esvis?
No, he'd be 20 feet from Esvis.
No, so I'd leap next.
Where you were was 15 feet from Esvis.
Well, I want to be in front of everybody, but I want to be within 15.
So where are you
feet of
going? Where are you going, Buford?
It's very confusing.
The fight's
Okay.
just starting. Where are you going?
Okay, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go next to Dalren. I'm gonna go so that I am one. That's right. Okay.
So you didn't move. All right. So you haven't used any actions. What are you doing, buddy?
I thought I was further down.
No,
You started right there.
he moved us
Okay.
into squares.
Oh, okay. Okay. So then I am going to try and intimidate. Little wiggle worm up there. Now, don't you come down here. You stay up there, I tell you. A pretty good intimidation, I tell you. That's a 23.
23. Yeah, Buford does have a pretty intimidating presence. So, this Drake, as it rouses, is a little concerned about the giant metal man.
And I will raise my shield.
Alrighty.
Very exciting.
One of these days, I just want Buddy to be like, "How big an old boy are you?"
Rur, as you were recalling knowledge when this started, do you want your knowledge on the totem or the dragons?
The dragons.
What is your arcana?
I think it's 2. Yeah, it's 2.
Sick. Alright.
I don't know a lot about dragons.
That you do not. It is definitely a dragon. It's definitely green, and it looks real mad.
It has scales too, I think.
Does definitely have visible scales, yes.
Those might be scales.
Nice.
All right, so we're gonna open this up with your good old standard fireball.
I approve.
Wasting absolutely no time and just throwing a fireball into the middle of everything to see how well it goes.
Honestly,
I mean,
I
what's the
approve.
worst that
Harm.
happens, right?
I didn't ask how wet the jungle
Yep.
was. I said.
Yeah, just right in the middle, centered on the totem.
It's a 20 radius, right?
Yes. Yeah, very,
Yeah,
very
they
clearly.
are 20 feet up in the trees right now, so
I can
you
just
can
air
throw
burst
it,
it.
yeah, like right above the totem, and it can still blast on everything fairly easily. The totem
Needs to make a reflex
has a
save.
reflex save.
Wow.
It's a 27 actually. As the
takes
fireball
half.
blasts, you see a flash of magic that just kind of diverts most of it around. Is
just-
the
it just-
explanation.
It doesn't hop?
The totem just lives inside. It just goes, whoop, gets ripped out, and gets back up.
Wacky inflatable arm flailing totem man.
Totem is like half.
The totem's gonna take 11.
The closest Drake is going to get a 24.
11.
And the further topmost Drake is also going to get a 24. 11, everybody.
Yep. 11's across the board. Then we're gonna pop up a shield.
Flame. Go flame.
The totem, as the fire washes over it, flashing around it, seems to be completely and utterly unaffected. It takes no damage. Dragons, however, will take 11. And then, the nearest dragon, snaking its little neck around the top of the tree here, is going to pull its head back and hawk what almost just looks like a wad of spit. A small green projectile that's maybe about 8 inches across. It's going to shoot down towards Rur and then erupt in a blast of toxic green miasma across everybody. And I'm going to need everybody to make a reflex save.
With you.
Nice.
Very nice.
He
Take
casts
that.
green fireball.
28.
I also.
23.
Okay, so because the 23 affects his DCs, actually, that's going to pass. Anybody get below a 23? Nobody? So it's a physical blast. It's definitely not a spell, and it's a fairly thick, almost mucus that's coming out of it that you're largely able to duck away from. And as it catches on your cloaks and your armors, it's not acidic. It doesn't seem to start burning or anything. It just looks like you shot a giant loogie at you. You protect yourselves well enough. It doesn't appear to have any effect whatsoever.
We're grossed out though.
I blew half the blood.
And then he is quickly going to, almost like a squirrel, just run down the trunk of the tree onto the ground in front of the totem, taking a bit of a defensive posture here. The totem, which as its eyes flash, is going to loose another blast towards Dalren. This laser for a 38.
That will hit and critical.
And maybe 14 save.
And it's gonna have a weird.
It is not a creature.
Oh, it's not a creature. Okay.
That is an object with very
really
angry
annoying
eyeballs.
trap. I'm going to
Gotcha,
spend my
gotcha.
session reroll
That's
on
probably
that.
a good plan. Probably a good plan. Surprised you still have it. Everybody else got their session rerolls out long ago.
You know, you're making me feel real guilty, and that's not good either. So I'm gonna go ahead and get Kyrie JCB here to go ahead and help me out with a different D20. I'm thinking. Here's a hero point.
Thank you, sir.
Ah,
Much
there we
better,
go.
yeah,
Much
yeah,
better.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
a 30.
So with a 30,
Was that a nat 20?
That was not a nat 20.
it shoots so accurately that this blast still manages to catch you surprisingly well. It's just almost unerring. The totem's not moving. It's not trying to face you. It's just these lasers are shooting out near instantaneously directly towards you. It seems harder to dodge than if you were trying to dodge light. And you are going to take 27 poison damage.
I feel like we should move.
Could we get to cover?
Yeah, we should probably get moving.
Esphus.
Seeing all of this carnage going on, just try to focus on the thing that hasn't
Now-
acted yet.
Jimmy calls out from nearby, drawing her bow up from her back. We're demon hunters, not dragons. We'll provide what support we can. So their effect on the battle here, I'm not going to track them individually and add 3 more people to the initiative table. Functionally, their support is going to give you all +2 to your attack and damage rolls
Okay,
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
that's legit.
so
for efficiency reasons.
hunt prey on the farthest dragon.
Okay, well, it's still up in the tree.
Still up in the tree. Yep. And while it's in the tree, does it have concealment from me?
No,
No?
probably
Okay,
not. It's
all
not
right.
like way up. It's not too far off the ground. It's not up in the canopy or anything.
Okay. So I will hunt prey and then hunted shot. 2 shots going at this dragon. I'm going to spend Deadly Doll's hero point because these are dragons and I'm not messing around.
Go ahead and keep that. Because dragon, hashtag Esphus from Deadly Doll.
Thank you.
Your sugar mama's here for you.
Yeah.
Are you serious? All right, you're going in the jail. You did all the 19s in the world and you betrayed me.
Oh no. Just going to show that no
Just
matter
gonna
how
go
much
ahead and-
success you have, as soon as you immediately, if you let him die, another hero point?
Yeah, I'm still going to spend another hero point. So thank you, Deadly
Plus
Doll. That
one,
one's also
minus
from
2.
Deadly Doll. Okay. Let's try this again.
Is that your last one?
No, second.
No, I've got one
Good
left.
one, that's okay.
That, with the +2, will be a 33 armor class.
See, 33 is this dragon hasn't really reacted. Is actually going to critically hit while he's up in the tree.
Just pin him to the branch.
Actually, yeah.
So, yes.
So that arrow, will do 20 points of piercing damage and just straight through the center of one of its feet, just to pin it square
Literally
against the
pin
tree.
it to the tree.
Critical specialization.
Super cool. I really
And
like critical specialization.
second shot. That is very cocked.
That was a 10 and a 12.
That will be a 30 armor class.
Pretty lit.
Is it flat-footed for?
I think it's just immobilized. It's just immobilized, right? I don't believe it. The flat-footed would not make it a crit regardless.
Okay,
So,
that's fine.
Doesn't
Right.
matter either way. I don't believe it's immobilized. Flat-footed, though. I believe it just can't leave the square.
Okay,
He
Okay.
doesn't know when to crit.
it doesn't know what to crit. A little less. So this one will go into up higher into the leg for only 8 points of damage. Oh no, 10 points of damage because +2 to damage too, right? From our
Yep.
assistants.
Attack and damage from the rank and demon hunters assisting him.
Okay, so yeah, that'll be 10 points of damage.
Okay. One action left, right?
Yes, and now is the brush where I'm at? Like it's thick brush.
The dark spots on the map here are difficult terrain because of all the undergrowth. So you are in undergrowth difficult terrain, as about half of the jungle is.
I will choose the take cover action and hide for free because of forest stealth. It's still not bad. It's an 18.
Okay. So you duck down into the brush here as Resme is up now. I like this new sliding thing. I think this is
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's very
agree.
Cool.
At a
It's very
glance, you
good.
can see what's about to happen to everybody. Also, these new little cutouts with the skulls and stuff are super cool. And again, thank you, Matt, for literally making all of this. This is all Espis's work here.
Resme will yell out Taravis, and she'll cast slow on the dragon that's coming toward us.
One on the ground.
Yeah, the one on the ground. He needs to make a will save.
Okay.
I think it is.
Yeah.
He is going to get a 23.
A 23 will be a success, but not a critical success. He is slowed one
For just the next
for just the next turn.
Okay, so let's have 2 actions next round. Fair enough.
And then I will cast shield.
Defensive, good idea. Dalren, before you get going here, hashtag Dalren just because from Jayazo in the chats.
Oh,
And
thank
the
you.
hero points support out strong today. The good news is with all the extra shows that Paizo's been putting on, everyone has a lot of opportunities to collect more Paizo points to feed everybody. So you can stay safe. Probably safer, at least.
Yeah.
Only you can fight Dragonfire.
Dragon boogers, more like it.
Well, I'd certainly like to consider this a bit more, but, well, no time.
Oh, damn. Looks like I'm mad.
Oh boy, here I go killing again.
So lightning will crackle up, and I'm gonna dash forward, get within geese arm range of this front one, and give a quick slash, trying to hobble it on its legs.
I have to move the screen.
Ooh,
Hey,
nice.
very nice. So that's gonna be a +2 from that. See, 21, 31, 36 to hit.
36 is definitely going to critically succeed.
All right, spectacular. So that's going to be, see, 11, 11, and 8, 19 +2 support, 21 times 2, 42 lightning damage.
You are such a freaking beast when you crit.
They hit it incredibly hard.
Just hit it really hard.
Just crit forehead.
Oh no! The room is collapsing from the force of Dalren's blows. You want to go poke that real quick?
Yeah, we can wait till after.
Okay.
And then I'm going to fade, go through the difficult terrain, and get behind the tree so the totem can't
And-
zap me with lasers.
As you go to move back away, this thing on the ground, a snaking tail, about 15 feet long, whips around the dragon towards you, and you can see it's tipped with a long, perfectly straight stinger that jabs out. Now I'm going to spend a villain point from Edawir here on this
Everyone's running through points today.
Thank you, Edward.
Yeah.
one. Yeah, I got one left. Got one left. This is going to snap out towards you for a 30 flat.
Flat 30, it'll catch me. 23 armor class.
And the stinger is going to jab into you.
At least it's not a
At
crit.
least it's not a crit.
Is going to jab into you for 16 damage.
Okay, so.
And as you go to move away,
Temporary.
this pierces through your leg and snaps back, stopping you from being able to fall back from the square.
Oh, it just.
Oh, so it does disrupt my movement
Disrupts your move
regardless.
action regardless.
Oh, that's really annoying.
I also need you to make a fortitude save as the stinger seems to spray in something much akin to what it spit at you.
Oh, that's a 30.
30 will succeed as you feel this burning liquid jet out. You can I'll see a little spray on the tip of the stinger as it pulls back, pulling its maw back now to strike at this tasty fallen meal in front of it.
I'm not fallen. I'm just not behind the tree where I'd like to be.
And
grimacing up at her.
Second of the drakes here, seeing you rush forward, pretty stuck, on account of being pinned to the ground. So it is going to hawk back and do a similar thing, spitting out a large glob down towards the party. It's going to hit Dalren, Buford. How big is this splash, actually? Yeah, Dalren, Buford, and Resme.
Oh my god.
And I'm going to need reflex saves from each of you.
It'll hit me.
If it
even
matters,
though
if
I'm
the dragon wants
behind
to.
her.
You're not behind her.
Yeah, behind her.
It's,
Oh, I'm not.
it's spitting like right in the,
Oh,
the
I
center
can't.
here.
Very cocked. Does it hit his
That is
buddy
re-
dragon too?
It wouldn't matter.
Oh, I'm
If
not
the
interested.
dragon wants to move,
Even
it's
one of those.
It's just a DC 10 athletics.
27.
All right,
26.
26.
Arcadia says that's not a natural one. Arcadia says that's something else.
Save me, hero points.
Might even be a natural one.
Don't. Why? Why do you do these things? That's a 5.
I feel like we should be able to just take Derp's hero points and use them as
Well, you
So
know
what
I'm
do you
going
end
to
up
waste
with?
them.
Nope. I'm not taking that yet either. J Azo says that's not a 5
It
on
was
the
last
die.
one.
That's gonna be something else. That's a 6, not a 5. Ha! Take that. So it's an 18.
With an 18, yeah, you are definitely still going to be hit by this as you're held by the stinger from the first dragon. The second splashing up behind you. As it contacts your skin, you feel this burning. But you don't feel it in your skin. It's not like an acidic. You feel it's almost more like a contact poison. As it hits you, it soaks in. It's suspiciously thin for how much it looks like a big, thick mass of liquid. But whatever it is soaks through your skin in an instant, racing through your veins. And that is where you feel the terrible, searing fire. I don't have a poisoned card, so I'm going to give you persistent damage. But it is just poisoned.
Ah, lovely.
And you are going to take 4 damage. But as an added bonus, it's not just pain. Who the heck is... Supposed to be alphabetical. Why am I stupid? It's not just pain. It's also pretty crippling, and you're going to be enfeebled 1 as well.
Okay.
It's going to reduce your attack and damage rolls. And then he is going to make an athletics check that succeeds. He then angrily rips his leg free from the branch. Buddy.
I'm going to move as far as I can up north, up to the closer dragon. As far as I can into the difficult terrain right up next to him.
Just...
So 2 actions?
That's,
Yeah,
that's
it's a
1
2 move.
action because it gets you here.
Yeah, so then
You're
I'm
20?
20.
You're 20. Okay, 1 action actually gets you right next to Dalren. So
Yeah,
there's another action
so
to go
I
where?
have to, as far as I can move.
Yeah, pretty much
forward.
here
Yeah.
as you push through the underbrush, the difficult terrain that this drake is walking through. The dragon seems wholly unimpeded by the shrubbery.
And then I will raise my shield.
Brr.
I'm going to walk up right on behind Dalren. And I'm going to slap the wound in his leg with some anti-venom and some numbing agents for a battle medicine check.
So this is probably expert.
Yes. That is a 25 that passes. So
Crap beat out of me by these things.
25 does succeed. He's going to get 2d8 plus 10 health back.
10s?
2d10 plus.
yes,
Because he always does that anyway.
18.
I'll take it.
Does that take away his poison?
Does not, no.
No, just
He said
for
it was
flavor.
antidote. That's why I was asking.
Yeah, just
You
flavor.
got one
Flavor,
action
flavor.
left.
And then I'm gonna run off behind this tree for pseudo cover.
To not
Fall
get
back.
shot by lasers.
Fall back! Alrighty. Ducking out of the way quickly behind a large trunk. This dragon here on the ground, a fair amount injured from the salvo of attacks that have been loosed out towards it. As it pulls Dalren to a halt and sees him fairly weakened, it is going to lash out in a frenzy of attacks, snapping forward with its jaws as it punches down with its stinger repeatedly towards you.
With one less action.
With one less. Actually, it's just going to be 2 stinger strikes there. He just slowed one. So it's just going to be 2 stinger blasts. The first stinger coming down on you for a mathematics, a 25.
25 will just get me.
And this time, he'll question his life choices.
Is this worth defending a stick in the ground?
So enfeebled 2, you're gonna take, this first two, you're going to take a little bit less damage from that. Which
6 less. 8 less.
Instead of 17, it's going to be 9. Recurring theme when you enfeebled for some reason. It keeps going from 17 to 9.
It does seem to be that way, yes.
And then enfeebled, still trying to keep up this assault here as the stinger comes down again. I have to do a bunch of math, so it is going to be a 27 after the enfeebled 2.
Which will also solid hit.
And this one is going to do slightly less damage. It's going to do 11.
Okay.
Pretty much all the healing gone.
That's basically all the healing gone, yes.
You make me a fortitude save.
Another one. Ooh. Alright, now you go into jail. So that's a 15.
With a 15, you're already poisoned, but repeated applications are going to make the poison much more severe. This poison advancing to stage 2, you are enfeebled 2 now. You're going to take another 4 poison damage and make me another fortitude save because he stung you twice.
Join your friend. Alright, so that fortitude saves a 16.
5 more damage
Yay!
as this poison is crippling you. The
Not looking
does
too
not
good.
seem to be getting a whole lot worse, but slowed as he is by Resne's magic, 2 more blasts with his stinger, which he seems to favor far more than his talons or his jaws, is all he can mount. Laser Totem, however, is absolutely going to let loose a blast
I'm shiny and new.
towards Buford
Aha! Shiny and new.
with a natural 1.
Aha!
Actually.
Shiny, very shiny. Glare.
Shiny.
The glare.
Your shield seems to just be able to deflect the laser surprisingly well.
Try aiming one of those lasers at a dragon.
Espis.
Gonna pop up from my cover and take 2 shots at the hunted prey with hunted shot.
That's the one in the trees.
Oh, the one that's still in the trees. Yep.
Get another critical, stick it again.
Oh, it'd be great, wouldn't it?
You live in the tree now.
Ew. Yeah, I'm spending my last hero point from Kyrie JCB. Thank you, Kyrie JCB. I would like to stop rolling 4s.
You got all your coins back.
You have almost all of my coins back now. Kados is full.
Natural 20.
Rips the arrow out and another one sticks with it.
No.
Thank you, Kyrie JCB.
No, it's Ace Ventura.
I have exercise.
For 24 points of piercing, just straight into the other foot.
And it's pin in the tree again.
Upside down, just
And the second shot. 32.
32 will hit.
It doesn't count for flat-footed, darn it.
Not flat-footed.
That's all right. That's all right.
is that with the +2 from the dude?
Yeah, that's with the +2.
Got to push for every
You
little.
still
point
have
you can
the
get.
Jimmy and the other 2 half-orcs supporting, but some harassing fire from the tree lines much further back.
Yeah, the 2s from nowhere.
Yeah, pretty much. So that'll be 8 more points of piercing, just another follow-up straight into the other shin.
Alright, and the one that hasn't managed to come down from the tree yet is by far the more injured of the 2. At this point.
I think the one on the ground's only been hit once. I think it's only. I
Oh,
only hit
your
it once.
crit knocked it.
Yeah,
That's
you hit it
true.
pretty hard.
Stupid.
That's true. I hit it
That
really hard.
alone is almost done. Yeah, it's you and Espis have been laying damage in the one fireball that stopped him initially.
Okay.
His mistake was staying up in the open. He's not down on the ground where there's cover.
It's true. So then I will take for my second action, I'll take a third shot. For a total of 20 armor class.
20 is not going to hit. That one's going to glance off of its scales. It's now writhing in pain and rage stuck in the tree.
Okay. And I will take cover and stealth away.
Pops up, pops down. Go for strat. Resme.
Go first. For a 34 stealth.
Resme, seeing how badly hurt Dalrin is now going to desperately try to bring down this thing. So she's going to cast a fireball on that nice little area.
Is it really big on the fire?
Yeah. Go ahead and make me a reflex save.
You can hit both drakes. You will also hit Buford.
No,
it's a pretty massive blast. He's in melee with Buford. I don't know that you can realistically do the trigonometry to just edge him and not hit Buford at all. I mean,
if I try to not hit the other drake and just try to hit the one dragon, can I back it up so that I don't hit you?
You'll just catch the one.
That's fine.
Pretty far back.
Yeah. Go ahead and make me that save.
Okie dokie. He is my last villain point here.
Didn't want to hard one that save.
Fox 10. I did not want to hard one that save. It's a dragon. You can't die to a fireball. That's like illegal. That's super cocked. Come on. Suspense D20. It's gonna get 19 on the reflex.
That is
save.
a fail.
He's pinned.
It's not pinned. It's on the ground. It's savaging Dalrin.
Light him up.
6, 12, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 damage.
Alrighty. These two drakes now very evenly injured. With this blast of fire again washing over the totem, it seems to be completely unmarred.
And Resme will throw her shield at.
So Dalrin, before you begin,
Sneaky feet.
chat, rallying in support here. Another hero point for the poor elf barbarian man from Shazper.
Punched.
Shazperd.
And another hero point from Destronets.
Woo!
Can't have you die before you finish your research. Now can we, Master Dalrin?
Quite true, quite true.
Two of them. Bring you back up
To two.
to two.
Who was the first one from again?
The first one is from Shazper.
And then
The
Destronets.
Destronets.
I love that name, by the
Did I
way.
miss one? Check times I missed one. And I got one too. I did miss that one.
Why? This is why we
Actually, a
can't
lot
have
of
nice
chat
things.
right now. Chronox 2 is throwing me one as well. I can't miss that.
In the
That was a
interest
zero.
of fairness.
I need that. That's important. Thank you.
All right.
Now both these drakes look pretty severely injured at this point. They're bloodied. They're wounded. They don't seem terribly hardy.
Well, what a coincidence, for I too am bloody wounded and don't feel particularly hardy. But I'm not about to back down, not with this thing right in front of me. So muscles burning, go back into a guard and just bring it around with lightning charging down the blade. That's only a 23.
Does that include the +2 from the?
It does not. 25.
25 will hit.
Woo!
Add +2 to this as well.
Yep, yep. So 22 lightning damage.
22 will be enough to cleave through the first of these dragons on the ground and bring it hissing, stinger still flailing almost spasmodically down to the ground. As the first falls.
And now I'm gonna get behind this tree
Good plan, good plan.
and get some cover while I try to get this poison burning through my veins under control.
And, oh yeah, that was even one action.
That was actually that does leave me with an action left, doesn't
You
it?
can take cover to get greater cover.
Aren't you raging? Don't you have? Can you flex that out?
It's not sickened, it's poisoned. I can flex out sickened, I can't flex out poisoned.
Well, the enfeebled, I mean.
No, it's
I don't think
mental
you can
effects,
take
I don't
right?
think I can
Enfeebled.
flex out enfeebled.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
all like mental stuff, right?
Yeah. So you can take cover behind
Frightened
the
or
tree
second.
to get greater cover back here, which will give you +4 to your AC. Just
Um,
take cover as an action now in second edition.
Sure, I'll do that.
If you're behind the tree and you got nothing else going on, that's probably your best bet. So this Drake, really mad, is going to again yank the bolt out from its leg before it drops down out of the tree onto Buford, snapping forward with his fanged maw, just almost shooting down head first, skittering out, bringing gravity along with him for this strike. For a... so bad at math. 26.
And that my shield is just gonna come up in time, and you just can't get a hold.
That potency rune.
Yeah, the potency rune really did that.
Make me a fortitude save, Dalren.
Oh.
Against the poison coursing through your veins.
Come on now.
It's getting better.
It's a little better. It's a 21. I think I might want to spend a hero point on that. Oh, that's 9 though on the die. Odds aren't exactly in my favor.
The odds are not in your favor, Master Dorian.
You
May the
take a
odds
further
be
2
forever in your
poison
favor.
damage. You are still enfeebled 2.
Alright.
Alright, buddy.
Here now, you stupid lizard, and I'm gonna whack it in the face.
Bonk it.
Bonk it in the face with a 19 on the die. So 21 plus 15.
36.
36.
36 will critically succeed.
Nice.
Stupid idiot. Oh, that was terrible dice. It's okay. So 4, 8, so 16 damage.
16 damage is just not enough.
It's okay. I'll
It's a
just
good opening
whack it
strike.
again. Gonna try and do another. Nice, good whack. Okay, 16, 18 plus 15 is like.
Is it plus 10?
Oh, plus 10. Yeah. So 16 plus.
So
10.
26?
26.
26 will hit.
Okay. So here. So that is 10 damage.
10 damage will bring down the second dragon. As you have now beaten down frontliners frontlining. Both of them. Give me 1 action.
Okay. There's a thing. It was shooting laser beams, and I can't run very far, but I can run far enough. I'm gonna try and jump, run, and dive behind that tree where is. I won't really quite get there, but it'll be the effort that counts.
Yeah, you get 20 feet over there. You can get almost there.
Yeah.
As you stomp away, roar. You see Buford coming as you hear dragons' death screeches around the trunk.
Well, I already have my focus. Dalren got spanked a little bit by those dragons, so we're going to pop Healer's Blessing on you. And then a 2-action heal is going to course through you. And we're going to heal you for 3d10 plus 30.
Ooh. What? Wait, what? What?
It's plus 24 plus my level.
How is it plus what?
It goes up.
3rd level heal.
Yep.
It's just 3d10 plus 24. That's 3rd level
Dude.
2-action heal.
It's healers doing healer things.
Oh, wow!
8 and 9.
Yeah, and a 4.
21 plus 30?
Yeah.
51 healing?
51 health.
By
Feeling remarkably better.
by the light of Sarenrae.
Into Dalren by the light of freaking Sarenrae.
It's a Saren ray.
Actually, the first thing knocked me down to 76 health, and that just put me right back up to 76 health. So I'll just erase all that stuff. And okay, all
As
right.
Buford runs, another blast loosed from this totem. Gonna get a 33.
Okay, that'll hit.
Need you to
Not
make-
critical.
you need to make a fortitude save.
It's a 19 on the die. Plus 14.
20, right? It's a joke because
32.
30, 33?
33?
Yeah, 33, 19 plus 14, so 33 fortitude.
Just barely doesn't critically succeed. So you take half.
Okay.
You take 9 poison damage as this beam strikes you.
Okay.
And Esvis. Last one. Make it count. Deadly Doll says, scraping the bottom of the barrel for hero points.
Thank you, Deadly Doll. Thank you. Okay. All right, so, well, unfortunately, I can't hunt prey because it's not a thing.
It is.
Not a living thing.
Yeah, it's not a living thing. It is. This is a weird one because it's not a creature. It's not a live. Not even a construct. Yeah, it's not. It can't be redeemed. it can't suffer a glimpse of redemption. I would.
It's almost like a glorified trap, almost.
It literally is. It is a hazard. It's not a creature. It's a hazard. I would say you can designate it as prey. We're in weird rulesy territory here because it's a hazard, not a creature. I'd say if you want to shoot it and deal damage to it.
Yeah, I want to shoot it.
I don't see why you can't denote it as prey. We can look it up later.
Yeah, I'll look it up later. Okay. All right, so then pop out, hunt prey, hunted shot. So first 2 strikes, and I'll stack these together since it is a hazard, it's probably got hardness and things like that.
It most certainly does.
Okay, so the damage will have to stack together for the purposes of precision, because that's what the hunted shot specifically says.
Okay, yep.
So,
and it gets to come into play now because it definitely has hardness. You're shooting at a 10-foot tall wooden totem with Dayhawk's visage set on top of it, blasting lasers out of its eye sockets.
fair enough. So that's a 35.
35 will hit. It can't be crits. It's not.
Right. And then sorry, math. And then that'll be a 19.
19 will glance off of the wood.
Okay. So this may not actually deal anything. We'll give it a shot. 16 points of piercing, just trying to nail that skull as best I can.
So your arrow is just the second one bouncing off harmlessly, the first barely glancing, leaving just a dent, doing almost nothing, but not completely nothing. And deal 2 damage.
Ooh. All right, I'm gonna take another shot. So,
Hard.
yeah.
Hardness.
So that'll be a 23.
23 is going to glance off harmlessly.
And it's gonna look at me. Just take cover and hide. Okay.
Resume.
Resme is going to move, try to get closer to it.
Where would you go? Because you can go like far forward as you want to, really.
That's
up
fine.
to the edge of the thick undergrowth that it's standing tall out of.
And I'm going to try to shrink it.
Okay. So as you shrink item not touch. I just kind of assumed it was touch.
It might be. Let me.
I'm almost positive it's touch.
It might be touch.
I'm gonna say it's touch. Look it up real quick.
That's fine. I'll just double. I'll double move, and I'll just have to take a shot from it because shrink items 2 actions.
Shrink items touch.
That's
you can
fine.
Get up to it, right?
And I'll just I will shield and pray.
Ping.
What the heck is she doing?
Through the underbrush to the lasers blasting totem. Dalren, you see Resume run by as you feel suddenly a lot
I've
better.
got a plan.
Well, can't have this now. So I'm going to run around the tree and just push up as far as I can get. Actually, I think if I get right behind Resume, I can still strike at it.
This is all difficult terrain. 10, 20. That's 40 feet of movement there.
That's 40 feet of movement?
Yeah, this dark ground is all difficult terrain.
So I was here, so that's...
You were here.
So that's 10?
10.
Oh, I can't go
20.
diagonal over
Yeah,
there?
it's kind of occupying these squares, so you kind of got around 10, 20, 30, 40.
Okay. Well, that's gonna take me two. That's just take me 2 actions. That's all it is. Okay. So then.
I'm an idiot, but I'll tell you why I'm an idiot later.
I know why.
Oh,
Continue.
yeah, I know why too. Okay. And I'm gonna strike out at it. Let's see if lightning helps. Well, not with a roll like that. It's not. It's not gonna hit. And this is kind of important. So let's use one of those hero
The like
points
is a giant laser blast.
that I
Is that-
just got.
yeah, you didn't reroll that save. So
It's gonna be
you got one
Shazper or
left.
Destronets.
That was gonna be Shazper because I got his first. Come on!
That's very cocked.
cocked die. Come on, stop doing. Oh,
No!
Should have asked. All right, so that's only an 18. Actually, even with
18 as you try to swing through
yeah.
this thick undergrowth past Resume, this big pillar. Your blade just glances off of this magical totem. It's certainly more than just wood, and a Gisarm is hardly meant for chopping lumber anyway. And make me a fortitude save.
Come on,
Still very poisoned.
shake this thing. Let's try this. I haven't had this in a while.
Trading poison is like a 10 minutes.
Why I haven't tried that one in a while. All right. maybe, yeah, just when it's a 15.
You take 3 more damage, and you're still enfeebled too. It's definitely adding how hard it is to hit this pillar successfully. Buddy, see Resume run on by.
I like sprinting towards the tree. See her skid to a wall, turn around, sprint back over to Resume, and I think I can just get there.
Difficult terrain. Be 2 moves to get to her.
Yeah. I'm going to do a 3rd move and move in front of her.
That totem is.
You can
just
okay.
back there.
the totem.
I didn't know.
You're
it
all
was
adjacent to the totem
Okay,
right
okay.
now.
She shrinks your armor by mistake.
Yeah, please don't. And then I too will raise my shield.
Brr.
I don't know what these insane people are doing.
I don't know either.
I'm going to, from the safety of my tree, try hitting it with a divine lance because
You're gonna need to move for sure.
Yeah, but I'm staying behind the tree. But
Right. And
there's
then you
a
can,
thing between me and it.
Yeah, launch your divine lance.
This is clearly a bad thing. I'm going to see if this can hit it with good energy.
Which, as it strikes, is going to dissipate harmlessly upon the wood. It's just a conduit for magic. Magic has no alignment.
Simply
and
have
then-
to test and see if it would work.
This thing is a blast annihilator down her resume. Pew! Straight down onto her for a 32.
That is not going to crit me just. So, yeah, it just hits me.
So I need a 14.
That's gonna be a 25.
32. How was your... Oh, you're going to say AC's just really... Numbers got really big now, I guess.
Well, her AC
Fair enough.
is 23 probably with the rune because you have
Yeah,
the protection
'cause I have a
rune.
Oh, we
and
put the
she's,
rune in your armor.
We
and
put
she's got a
rune
lot
in
of
my
dex.
armor.
Yeah, that
missing
plus one
one
potency
somewhere.
runes. Get
I
me
was,
some mileage.
missing one right there. So the 25...
And as it goes at her, I will actually reach my shield out, and so any damage she takes will be blocked by, partially blocked by my shield.
Okay. I'll allow it. It makes
It's
sense
shield
to me.
other.
It's a blast.
Yeah, it just says when an
Yeah.
attack is made against an ally adjacent to you.
Okay, so and it's just like you're blocking it basically.
Yeah, it's a shield block, but for someone else.
It's what I used to do with Nell.
You make me a fortitude save
Ah, I will take that.
because it's
Okay, so that's
the
a.
damage is just a spell effect. So if you're gonna block it, it's gonna hit you.
Okay, so that's a.
But it makes an
um,
attack roll.
Makes an attack roll. It's like a ray basically.
Huh.
That's a 29.
The 29, you are gonna take half of this,
Okay.
which is gonna be 9 poison damage.
There
As you
is actually
throw
a
your-
feat later that allows me to take damage when I make a shield block for other people.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
Because the beam hitting you is the beam isn't doing damage. It's a spell effect that prompts a fortitude save that does damage.
Huh.
So if you block it, it's just hitting you and you're taking it. I figure is the way that would logically
Does the
resolve.
shield reduce the damage?
It doesn't because it's just a spell effect.
Huh.
It's not like the beam is hitting you for 9 damage. The beam hits you and then you take 9 magical poison damage.
I'm okay
So-
with this. How much would I take?
9.
9.
Esphus.
Pop back up. The Gatling gun. All right, so 2 shots.
Coincidence. That's how much damage has been dealt to the totem so far.
31.
31 strikes.
Okay,
You gotta hit
and
both. You gotta hit both the 100 shots. Like that's where the money lives.
that is where the money lives. Ooh, and that will be 27.
They both hit. Damage combined for hardness.
Yeah.
This is what we need.
Yeah. Help. 13 on
Actually-
4d8.
Actually gonna do nothing.
So
That arrow is
glad I
gonna
shielded.
glance
Pang, pang,
completely
pang, pang.
harmlessly off of the totem.
I wish I could.
Shot solidly, but aiming up at the skull, which needs to be shielded by this magic, this spell, as well as the shaft. These arrows just glance with flashes of green light off as they strike.
I'm just gonna take a 3rd shot. Might as well. 26.
It's
Come on, boys. Give me
Big-
some high numbers.
big money.
Big money, no whammies. Nope, no damage. Just
I'm
keep.
assuming you're gonna dump that down again.
Yep, duck back
Assuming
down.
Groundhog Day is gonna continue in the corner. All right, Resume.
So I do not think I can shrink this thing right now. I do not think that's going to work.
You ran forward and realized this is a bad idea.
So instead, I'm going to use a 3rd level Dispel Magic. And I'm going to see if I can get this thing not magical, and then we can deal with the other stuff that's on it.
Okay. So, give me your counteract check as you well up this magic into your hand and reach forward to make sure it connects by just bringing your hands into touchy dispel range first.
I don't want to touch it, but I gotta. Ew.
Hello?
Hello?
That noise.
That's gonna be a hero point. Thank you so much, Cairo JCV. We appreciate your contributions to the cause. That is gonna be a nat 20.
What level dispel magic, yes?
3rd.
With a 3rd level dispel magic surging out into this totem. Arrows raining in from the distance from the demon hunters. The light almost instantly flashes out of the totem's eyes. And it goes completely inert.
Oh, thank God.
The smoke stops dissipating out from the eye sockets. It's just a wooden post standing there now. Much like the one you'd found before at the portal, but obviously markedly more deadly.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Oh my God.
That'll dispel it.
All right, now put it in your pocket and let's get out of here.
Now I'm going to use Shrink Item.
As you cast another arrow, just comes out from the off the top of the totem. Jimmy doesn't know what's happening.
And instead of putting this one in my purse, because this one's actually finished, it's more dangerous, I'm going to break it in half like a toothpick.
As you shrink the thing down, the magic dispelled out of it. Make me an athletics check. It's a 10-foot totem, reduced down to it's probably like a fairly sturdy log. I don't know if Resume's got quite the strength to snap this in half.
Can somebody axe it for me?
Well, I don't know if it'll actually... Does shrinking it actually... Is it still as dense as it once was? Or is it like, can we
It's
actually
just
break it?
as hardy as it was before.
Yeah, so
Science.
quite difficult to break.
I mean, I could just
easier
put it
to
in my
solve for
purse.
it.
Well, let's...
Magic sack.
Before we go and get too destructive here, can we maybe analyze it to see if we can find an easier way to turn it off, that if we should come across any more of these?
Sure. I mean, let's take a look at it.
Hey, you've got it with you now, so you can certainly settle down and detect some magic. But as this fight comes to a close, don't run any fortitude save.
Yeah. I'm still poisoned.
You are
Fairly
still
badly.
poisoned, but it's only got 1 tick left in it, so.
I still can't roll above 4.
Well, this is it. It's 6 turn poison, 3 damage. That's the 6th time it's hit you.
You know what this means? Darwin was poisoned by the blight. I win. I'm gonna drink
No.
water now.
Bad. Bad.
And as you feel this poison finally run its course, starting to recover, the burning subsiding a bit. It's no longer in the threat of killing you anymore. Jimmy and the Rankin Demon Hunters come in as this thing shrinks down. The sounds of screaming dragons and lasers flying throughout the air, falling away.
Darwin, are you okay?
I felt better.
I was so worried about you.
Me too.
You sure got the whooping on you. Jeez.
Been stuck and stabbed and barfed on and shot and...
Now,
I think I'm
Resme-
running out of adjectives.
Yeah, now, Resume, I don't want to sound like a certain other person we may know, but what in darnation do you think you're doing?
Well, the only way to stop it was to get rid of the magic on it, and in order to do that, I have to touch it. So
have
do
to
you have a better way of making that happen?
It was
maybe-
actually quite
I'm just
effective.
gonna
You have to give
point
her
at
credit.
Esvis.
Well, I feel like if we went a direction that didn't leave you next to it for a full, 5 minutes, sitting there looking pretty, while I'm sprinting halfway across a football field trying to get to you.
I mean, I'm sorry, but it's not like I can communicate very complex magical things to you during battle. I had the idea, it popped into my head, I gave it a shot. The only reason it worked is because I got very lucky and I found a very small magical loophole in its construction, and I cannot even believe it worked because I didn't think it was going to happen.
I feel like we should I just want to make sure you know that running straight for it
I'm aware.
is a bad idea.
I'm aware. Thank you.
We all bear the burden of danger, buddy. You can't save us 100% of the time.
I sure would like to try, and it would be a lot easier if I were walking first and you were walking second. You do a great
sorry.
job, by the way, Esvis. I can't even tell you back there. Except for the arrows just keep running over. Every
feel
once in a
kinda
while, I
guilty.
see a little bit of gray hair, but...
No, you did fine, Resme. You did fine. A bit reckless, but no, we carried the day.
We should thank our new allies for their assistance as well.
Thank
Indeed.
you so
And
much.
they're just kind of like 15 feet back. Just their bows still in hands, arrows still knocked, just the string not drawn, just kind of peering. No idea what's going on.
We can make dragon shoes now. I've always wanted dragon boots.
Actually.
And
Two
Jimmy.
teeth, two buddy.
Jimmy calls back. These dragon kin are not so rare in the woods, but that totem with blasts of magic, that's not something we've ever seen.
Yeah, it pretty much isn't good. It's power from a very dark
well
god.
put, yep.
This is what the Ekujae fear.
The darkness, yes.
Well, at least you can handle it. Arrows seem to do nothing. You came prepared to fight a demon you track, not a magical log.
Magical log. It's a little
Wow,
lovely.
it's a magical log. You're right. It makes me feel a lot better about it now that I think about it.
Where did it go? Did you banish it?
No, I shrunk it.
You just have this little totem. Little baton now. You got a little souvenir.
It's like we look. This is what I went to the
As you pull to all three half orcs, kind of lean back a little bit. It is so small now.
well,
Powerless.
I went straight through the portal into the Ekujae forest, and all I brought back with this lousy little totem.
Well, we'll see if we can't find a few more to make it a full collection.
I can understand how you felled those beasts back when we first met, Nell. The magic is strong.
My magic was also lucky. It was way more likely that I wouldn't have been powerful enough to do what I did, but clearly, with the power of all three of our gods here working with us, we were able to carry the day. The light of Serenray, Iomade, and Alceta surely shine upon us,
So,
and Pharasma. But she won't let us see her, because that's how she
you
does.
have found a totem
We have.
here in the jungle, defeated it, shrunk it, and are now quite literally carrying it around in your purse.
We're gonna totem around.
Did you forget to save the map again when Renali revealed the Cinderclaws?
Dang it. Every friggin' time, dude! I'm so used to Roll20 and everything I do, just saving automatically. I gotta save every time I switch maps. Alright, I got this. I can learn to use you, Work and Forge. My tiny smooth brain's really struggling, though. Okay.
So now that we have it in our hands, I guess let's try to learn more about it.
Yeah, you can certainly settle down and attempt to identify magic and figure out what's going on with this thing. And Rur, I imagine there's some treatment you want to put out. Well, Buford looks physically fine. I don't know if he's going to tell you he's there. He pretty clearly took a couple of these laser blasts. And Oren still has a bit of health missing.
Yeah, still not 100%.
I'm gonna make dinner.
You're going to settle down.
Dragon steaks.
And Jimmy just nods. This battle has been exhausting. It would be wise to rest. Rally as we can. Prepare.
Yes.
We will come upon this demon any day now. Could be tomorrow, could be the next. Could escape us entirely. They're impossible to predict, but by my ancestors, we'll track it down.
Trust your expertise.
Wasn't kidding about those dragon boots, though. I really do think we should skin these things.
Now that they're not actively trying to melt me, can I try to recall some knowledge and think about what I'm looking
Absolutely.
at?
What's your Arcana?
Arcana, not Dragon Lore?
Oh, I'll give you Dragon Lore. Yeah, I'll give you Dragon Lore.
They're actually both the same. It's plus 11. It's plus 11. Plus 11. Plus 11.
Looking at this is not a dragon. This is a drake.
A drake.
Which is a kind of dragon. It is a lesser dragon. It is a dragonkin, but this is far from a full-fledged dragon. They are sentient, but not super intelligent. They're much less intelligent than your average person would be. They've got just enough brain power to be able to have a fleeting grasp of the draconic language. So the things could theoretically talk in a language that you could understand even.
So they're like much angrier parrots.
That's not wrong. But they're
Gonna melt your face.
They are very poisonous, and what draconic power that they can muster is largely the ability to manipulate the flow of time. None of them were given a chance to, fortunately, because they can both hasten themselves to move at blinding speeds, as well as attack with a truly terrifying flurry of strikes in an instant.
Oh, wow.
But neither of them ever had an opportunity to.
Slowed one, guys. Whew.
If he wasn't slowed one, you would have gotten the Draconic Frenzy, because only his stinger has 10-foot reach, so he had to step forward first before he could do it. So
Teamwork makes the dream work.
It does. Thank you for the fist bump with a ring.
That's what I did.
their stingers, as you learned, are far deadlier than their jaws, carrying an incredibly powerful poison that is very difficult to shake off and fairly crippling.
It curses your dice to only roll force.
It does. It's a very bad thing, really. It leaks through into the actual world where we're playing Pathfinder and curses your d20s directly. It enfeebles your very dice.
Yep.
But other than that, they have no proper magic. They are not full dragons.
So having an actual demonstrable exhibit, Darn will immediately start lecturing anybody within earshot with about every detail of these things.
Oh, it's pretty interesting, I'd say.
Fascinating.
Resme will listen attentively.
I'm too busy tending to the
he's
acid burns on your
tending
leg.
to you very severe. It's not even acid burns. He just got stung by a fairly large stinger. It's like a longsword attached into these things' tail, which is whip-like. And before you, I guess as you roll that, have a hero point for the parrot.
Oh.
It doesn't want to come to you. It's for a punch. It's not going to punch. It's a bad joke. Have a hero point for the parrot drakes. Thank you for making me laugh with your totally not bad humor. Says handsome Ganker.
All right, so both of you heal for 25.
Perfect.
Man, I'm back up full. I'd never even know it.
He's got a couple of light lasers.
Nope.
It's not visible on you at all with those lasers struck. They didn't leave any kind of rashes or burns whatsoever. It just seemed to direct poison into you. Clearly the thing was a conduit for magic, so it was striking spells more than any kind of actual physical force.
While I'm pretending to listen to Dalrin sort of half-heartedly, I'm actually going to be studying this thing.
Listen attentively, mine.
You can tell that this totem is near identical to the one that you had recovered from the portal. It's just a conduit for energy. It has very little magical power itself. It is drawing it, amplifying it, and redirecting it back to an unknown source. This one, however, fully functional, connected to it, was almost given a strange shadow of sentience. The ability to detect when threats were nearby, and it started firing immediately, redirecting the very spells it was channeling as an attack out against the group of you.
Interesting. Yeah, it's as I thought. This thing had some element of being alive to it. I mean, it's not alive in the traditional sense, but I'm definitely glad it's not here anymore. We need to find all of these things we can and get rid of them.
Well, is there a way that we can, aside from getting lucky, is there a way that maybe we can disrupt its magic, even for a short time, that you're able to figure out?
Let me think about it. Let me look at some of these symbols and see if I can figure out in what way it's rechanneling the magic. I wonder if you can actually overload it, or if maybe changing the runes on it might disrupt the magic in some way.
This may sound perhaps a bit childish, but what if we had a large bucket or a tarp? It seemed to only be able to fire out of...
Yeah.
You want to put a hat over it.
Well, to block its eyes, if that's indeed how the conduit for the magic works. If it has sentience, it has to sense from somewhere.
You know what's really
It
interesting
seems
about
childish,
that,
but it might actually work.
well, it might actually, because once it hit my shield, it was no longer able to get to Risme, and it actually just went up my arm and right into my shoulder.
But
So
this,
it would be interesting if it couldn't go through objects.
The tent tarp actually might just be enough.
but this is only one example.
But yes, but look at the... But no, we have two. We have two
The
examples.
other one was not on.
But it was the exact same model. I'll bet you they work very similarly.
How many casters do you know can cast different things just because they look similar?
I can.
Well, still, we only got a couple of study here, and based on the knowledge we already have, I feel like we might as well use it, right?
I mean, I think it works
There's no
better
harm
than
in
shooting.
trying.
I mean, the other thing I'm worried about is, yes, it might stop the light whatever they were, but it won't stop them from being used as a conduit for whatever it is the whatever group, I don't even know what we're calling them at this point, are doing.
Resume.
Cinderclaws? The cultists?
We
Them?
want
There's no way the Cinderclaws imbued this thing with magic.
the problem is, Resume, that regardless of trying to find the semantics of keeping these things from attacking, you are going to be the one who is going to bear this burden, and your expertise is what we're going to rely on. We simply want you safe.
If it can't shoot, you can take all the time you need to disable it.
I mean, we
That's
could walk up to it with a
true.
felling axe if it can't shoot.
I mean, the other thing we could try to do is... Oh, I wish... We really need to study this thing some more.
What we really need to do is to get a saw. We need a saw of some sort, or an axe, or something of
Stop
that.
there while shooting lasers at you. Ow. Ow.
That's what
I
the
could
tarp
do
is
it.
supposed to be for.
So, Resume, as part of your analysis here, you can tell that around this completed skull, this visage set atop of the totem that wasn't finished in the one that you found at the portal, there are some runes set around it, around the eye sockets, around the base of the skull, that power the magic, that are part of the conduit. You would know that somebody who was particularly skilled in thievery could conceptually get to the totem, mar the runes the right way, and depower it that way.
Nope, nope. No more
It
people
could even be
going
done
up to
very
the...
quickly if they knew what they were doing,
Do I think...
possibly in a single action.
Do I think that with invisibility I could get close enough, or would it just sense my aura? Like, it's not seeing me, it's sensing me.
You're not sure.
Okay.
But the ability to disable the runes, I can give it a shot.
I'll take that risk with you.
Okay.
Perhaps together.
I guess since we're going to be setting up camp, can I also take a shot at trying to glean information about this thing?
Sure. But you're definitely not going to learn anything more than Resume already had. But you would be able to confirm most of what she told you. It does in fact seem to make sense. So as you settle down to camp for the evening,
Now this thing is smaller. Can we try to mar the runes on it to see if...
easily.
Easily?
I mean, it's off and it's small. You could just dig through it
All right,
with a pocket
cool.
knife.
I'm gonna
With the
deactivate
magic
this thing.
dispelled, it's just a wooden stick.
Cool, I'm
Like,
deactivating it though. Like, I'm drawing runes through it and making
Yeah,
sure
it's
that
no
it's
longer
not what it is
difficult to mess up
anymore.
at all. You can
It's
just
a
put it
wooden
on the ground and
stick
hit it
that
with a
can get
hammer and it would
much
shatter.
larger when we want it to be.
Could you
Yeah.
imagine it just reactivates in your pocket at some point over
Yeah.
the next couple days?
Yeah.
Rips out the side of your wrist.
No!
Thankfully, explicitly doesn't do that, because that would make it very bad
No,
to be
tiny,
captured for.
but still firing lasers.
Tiny but fierce.
So as the sun starts to set, a bit more of the drizzle starts to come down. And an hour or two before sundown, Resme and Valia
Renali.
arrive.
Resme.
Why am I wrong in every name today? Renali and Valia. They even have similar names.
Just call them Renalia.
Renalia. Renalia, the new ship, arrives from their expedition a little further out of the jungle. Brunali is holding a book. What appears to be a small leather-bound book that looks like something you would find back home.
But Valia is nowhere to be seen.
She killed her and took all of her knowledge.
But it's particularly thick. It's definitely not Valia's etiquette book. It's particularly thick, well-bound, with an inscribed cover. And she's looking kind of almost puzzled out towards the group. Where Valia is just walking normally, as she would. And as they arrive, Renali looks down at the book and just kind of looks up at the group of you. Are you the only normal humans that exist?
I'd say I was pretty normal.
I would say I'm not human.
I would also say I'm not human, but I am fairly normal.
I would
Valia
ask if you want
shakes
dinner.
her head a bit. It is to my chagrin that I've not been able to impart proper etiquette, regardless of the lessons I've been trying to instill in our friend Lady Renali here during our travels. We met Lord Thaddeus Statmore.
Oh,
How did you?
Very well then.
Yes, he's had an architectural excavation not far to the west of here. A pleasant fellow, though it does seem he's lost most of his crew by now.
Huh.
have they been eaten?
No, petrified actually, turned to stone.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, fantastic.
Huh.
Renali has a small amount of magic, of course, not to denigrate your abilities, Lady Renali, but she had no sort of power to her to be able to turn them back for the transformation, unfortunately. Also, we've heard the news. There are more of these totems.
Oh,
Yes.
another to the west of us.
There was another one, yes. Much like the one that we found at the portal, though this one blue rather than white. It had been finished. Lord Thaddeus Statmore had handled it handily, though. Fortunately, he told it was quite a battle. It's apparently responsible for the petrification of his men.
Oh, it had a different power. Petrification,
Petrification.
and not poison. There was one here too, but it's now a toothpick.
And Renali, there are more of them? How many of these totems?
Well,
There's at least 3.
if it draws enough, just guessing 3 usually. Actually, 3 is a very
At
common
least.
thing. Yes,
Well, we found 3 so far.
that's true. We have found 3 so far. I take it back. No. We should. These totems are apparently what's powering the. Most likely, if it's a conduit for magic, it's powering the Cinderclaws shield.
I did see something much akin to it at the base of the bubble in the swamp. It is possible, perhaps, but how many could there be?
Dalrin, how many types of dragon breath are there? Dragon types.
Well, the types there are many types. Typical elemental common effects. I think there's 5 that I can think of off the top of my head, but petrification is not typically one of them. That's fairly exotic. I've certainly heard tales and rumors that there are dragons that can use that type of effect, but it's not a typical what you would read about. So I'm afraid it's going to be very little help in trying to keep count of these things.
And
But just west of here, so along the river then.
not far from it, no.
It's
Only
possible.
a mile or two inside the tree line, he said he found it.
But the Cinderclaws have been going along the river then? Makes 2 by the river.
Well, the site was fairly remarkable, so, as it was surrounded by statues of his associates, but he seemed somewhat unbothered by it, or perhaps his shock on his part. I can't blame him. A half-dozen men lost to this totem.
He likely
At the blink
focused on
of
his
an eye.
work.
Well, I might be able to reverse the magic that did it to them if I can see them, but first we have to finish this particular mission that we're on.
Yes, I mean, it's not like they're going anywhere.
Well,
Oh,
actually,
that's
Lord
crude.
Thaddeus Statmore is making preparations to leave the Margi Expanse. He's taking this totem back with him. There'll be an exhibit in the Tulsa Museum.
No!
Is it fully deactivated? Do we know anything about that?
Well, we
Presumably
see-
it stopped petrifying people.
Well, I know, but there's more than one way to do
Lord
it. I
Thaddeus
guess.
Statmore himself certainly was still seemingly of able-minded body. He had the thing bound up in burlap on a sledge, preparing it for transportation, so he'd leave on the morrow.
Do we think he just thought of the same thing we did and just put a bag over it, or do you think he actually deactivated it?
Well, I think he deactivated it through some fairly violent means and at the expense of a great number of his crew.
Oh, he used his gun.
Pardon?
His gun. He shot it.
Okay,
it.
guys, we need to go kill. We
Whatever.
need to go get this man and get his gun.
I mean, Lord Thaddeus Stoutmore is anything but modest in the story he would weave. True as it may be, seems to have many more elaborate embellishments upon it, but as far as I could design of the actual events that happened there, he simply shot the totem with his gun.
Do I know what a gun is?
Does he have any
So-
more of them?
You guns are an emerging, like black powder is an emerging technology in Galarian. So you would probably be aware that guns exist, but they are quite rare. And you having traveled around enough, you would certainly be familiar with the concept of a black powder rifle. The Buford is the one maybe who would have no idea what a gun is, having grown up in Breach Hill.
But
You've
apparently,
probably
it can
never
break these
seen or
totems.
heard of a gun.
There's a lot of adventurers.
Black
that come
powder
through.
is an emerging technology, and we have spaceships.
Fantasy. The
Look.
spaceship crashed. We didn't make the spaceship.
As we all know, guns don't kill obelisks. Bullets
Magic
do.
does.
Magic kills
That
obelisks.
too.
Well, as he told it, as soon as they came within sight of the thing, beams, blasts of energy, erupted from the totem's eyes, and blue as the totem was beforehand, and each of his men that struck was turned in an instant to stone.
Huh.
And they mounted some assault against the thing, attacking it with their machetes and what weapons they had. But Lord Thaddeus Stoutmore, the last among them, was able to finally deactivate the magic in this totem by shooting it with his gun.
So
He probably just disrupted the runes.
the runes, lucky shot perhaps. So is last among is he by himself?
He is now, it seems, yes, but he seemed to have no real concerns about the difficulties of making it back to port himself.
He's going to.
Seems quite confident.
Does he have draft animals to pull this totem back to wherever he's trying to get to?
He seemed intent on hulling it himself. Make no mistake, Lord Thaddeus Stoutmore is no slouch.
This man, I want to meet this man. This mountain sounds amazing.
He sounds
And
crazier than I am.
Renali holds up her book. He gave us this. I can't read it, but and she hands it out to you. It appears to be a treatise on the history of the various tribes in the central Mwangi expanse by Lord Thaddeus Stoutmore.
Did
And
he sign it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, I now officially
On the
think
inside
he's a
cover, there is to strange friends met along the way, the civilized of the wild jungle peoples.
I hope one day to
Lord
have
Thaddeus
treats
Stoutmore.
I am this proud of to be able to hand out signed copies to random people
I
I meet
hope
in the jungle.
one day to punch him in the face
Not
for
only
even.
did he hand it out to strangers in the jungle,
He handed
he's
out-
been carrying this.
There's a surprising amount of them, yes. He gave me one as well. It's in my pack. Wouldn't take no for an answer, actually. He
Wow.
tried to foist one upon me on the ship, but claimed to Providence. We met again in the jungle, and, well, I had no real proper out while maintaining social courtesies, so I accepted the book, and I suppose I'll have to keep it.
Well, it could actually be fairly interesting to read and may very well prove useful. So if I will accept this burden on behalf of our party, and I will read the book for all of
Renali
us.
just kind of shrugs. He's
To
a strange
survive.
man.
Clearly,
At least it's good paper to be surviving in the jungle.
well,
Is
it
it a wi-
occurs to me that Lord Thaddeus Stoutmore, as imposing a man as he may be, was likely not get very far hauling that totem by himself through the trackless jungle. So we probably have a great deal of time left over if we wish to circle back around and meet him once we've finished hunting down this demon that's gotten away.
Yes, I suppose we should make camp here for the night and then continue our hunt tomorrow.
Agreed.
Makes the most sense to me. If you wish, then Renali and I can continue our investigations, or we can aid you in tracking down this, whatever it is we're doing here. I'm sorry, I'm not entirely on board with why exactly we're following these fine gentlemen, but I understand it's a hunt of a demon of some kind.
Yep.
Yes.
That's
Exactly so.
basically it. Yep.
Probably we would know it better as a fae, but demon works just as well.
Fae is something to be far more familiar with. The Rudin Forest, of course, does encroach on a large amount of the northwestern borders of Taldor, and it's a constant threat to their peoples. I've heard many a story recently, actually, coming out from some of the New Empress's people with
Will you tell some of them? I'd be interested.
I do apologize, Lady Glouterman. I don't believe I'm much of a storyteller, but I will do my best. One moment, please. And grabs her little book and starts flipping through it to figure out how exactly she is supposed to do this part with some proper etiquette. So, Renali and Valia have scouted another of these totems not far from here, only about 12 miles away down the riverbank. A blue one, apparently, that this Lord Thaddeus Stoutmore seems to have largely single-handedly brought down.
Good job.
Pinnacle of manhood that he is.
Yeah.
Doing wave upon wave of his own men at it.
Russian winter tactics, if he knew what those were. But in the end, he triumphed in the face of such great adversity, and surely he seems like the kind of person who will be solidly humble about this experience. His retelling, handing out signed copies of his own treatise to everyone he meets. He apparently just carries a whole sack around of.
No one has a face I'd be happier to punch.
I'm really interested to meet this fellow. He seems like a really interesting guy.
It does indeed, a true scholar, and I'm going to be judging how good a scholar he is when I read his treatise.
This is how I know I'm being punished.
And as you have some time here to finish setting up camp, Renali and Valia continue explaining that, according to Lord Stoutmore, there had been quite a few of the Cinderclaw cultists, the small monkeys, the Charuka, defending the totem as well. A small detachment of them, which they had been able to handle reasonably well until the totem started firing and petrifying his men. With a single blast of his mighty blunderbuss, Lord Thaddeus Stoutmore was able to quell the beasts from the jungle and smite the magic from the totem itself.
He definitely hit the rims.
Meanwhile, let me survival check to make camp here. You still have a +2 as the half-orcs here to assist you.
And he set up a new village, and he disappeared and came back and saved it, and Stoutmore Hill was made in the morning.
I feel Stout Hill would be a simpler, more succinct name, but as you will.
25 survival.
So 25, you set up a decent enough camp here, not too far from where you plucked the green totem from the ground, arranging yourselves in your tents around, camouflaging it as best you can. And as this drizzle turns into another rainy, very soaked night, at least the ground here is a bit harder and doesn't hold the water quite as well.
Oh, I love a rainy night.
It certainly is a rainy forest.
I'm sorry.
I said it certainly is a rainy forest.
Indeed.
That's right, don't engage.
Who wants to roll a flat check for me? Just roll a d20 and tell me what number comes out of it.
Ooh, me.
Go ahead.
4.
Oh, crap baskets.
Please stand by.
Please stand by for random encounter. Random encounter loading.
So as you are resting here, the night has not quite fallen yet. For the moment, you're still finishing up the setups of your camp and everything, figuring out what exactly, how you can best shelter yourself against the coming rain that is most certainly about to fall.
Please tell me that's not what I think it is.
You are set upon by a pair, 2d6, a pair of spiders much akin to those you had faced when you first met Renali, which she is fairly easily able to turn away from the camp and these two spiders are not going to do anything.
Hey, no.
Stop. No, be gone.
Little cousins.
Causing a little bit of concern to Jimmy, the woman who can speak to spiders. But after some time ensuring him that she is not in fact the demon they track, you're able to settle in for another night here in the rainforest, solidly earning its name. And the next morning, Jimmy wants to take the group of you northwest, continuing to follow these tracks.
He's leading the way. I'm just providing the magic.
And as you come along with them, what are Renali and Valia heading to this afternoon?
Should we send them further upriver to see if the pattern holds true?
Sure.
It's a little odd because the river itself, you want to search near the riverbanks, there's kind of the hex that has the actual river, or you can send them a little further inland because the river passes through the center of that hex.
That is fair.
Might as well just do the river hex.
Yeah, might as well.
Saves us getting wet one day.
So what do you think? Fire? Maybe lightning?
Well, hopefully nothing
Got a large amount of
that
area here,
yeah.
making progress, learning things.
saving your stuff.
I just did that. I'm doing it every time I do anything now.
Thwarting my plans?
There is only save. So, as you travel, Jimmy clearly getting a little more on edge as he really feels like this hunt is nearing its end, as you are coming much closer to the targets you seek. The early afternoon. You guys want to see something really cool that I actually haven't showed you guys in a while?
Sure.
The early afternoon, the last fight you came across that totem fairly late in the evening, near to sundown.
Mm-hmm.
A little earlier in the day now.
Oh.
Have I showed you guys Arkenforge's day-night slider?
No.
This is such a cool platform.
Look at that.
I want it to be a little lighter.
I only wish that it could function online so I could run all of my campaigns through it. Just
Maybe
give
someday.
me peer-to-peer connections, Arkenforge, please. I love it so much.
Could you share screen through a conference software?
Theoretically, but that sounds like a whole lot of effort.
the same.
Yeah. Come on, Nick.
You would finally come across another man pulling his way through the forest. He looks like a hunter. He is human. He is not Ekujae, but is clad in fairly similar gear to what their hunters wear. And he is dragging behind him a fairly large burlap sack. And as you meet this man, you can see that whatever he has hunted, whatever he has caught here, clearly the battle has taken place right here. The area around where he stands is marred with the signs of a struggle and some errant splashes of blood. And as he turns and sees the group of you, a little confused to see a bazillion people coming out of the tree line here, he kind of cocks his head a bit and says in Mwangi, sorry? You may not share language.
Oh, no, that's all right. We understand you quite well.
Oh, this is pleasant surprise. You are very well armed and look not to be from this place.
These are both accurate things.
My arms are very nice.
Well, if you were tracking this fowl, it is unfortunate that it seems I arrived first, but I am more than willing to share the bounty with you if you seek food. You are deep within trackless woods here.
Are you a monster hiding behind a human face?
It's a very blunt way to put it, but we're looking for.
He just kind of looks at you blankly. What?
Are you human?
Kind of looks down at himself. Let's go to Sack and looks at his hands. Grabs his crotch. Yeah, I believe so, yes.
Look at you. Does he,
No, I guess does he
Jimmy
seem like he's
and
lying?
the two half-orcs, a little behind into the trees, he has her hand on her bow across her back, reaching up for it. Just growls out in Mwagi.
This may be our quarry. Make it difficult to tell.
I'm still looking at you. Does Saren Ray,
Yeah, does he look like he's telling the truth to me?
What are you doing?
Perception.
perception?
Oh, just a perception check.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you dropping dice for over here, lad?
32. Just does he seem like he's telling the truth? He's a human.
With a 32, it seems like he's very much not telling the truth. And so as he drops the sack, the neck behind him is going to fairly great pains to not show any sign of what is in it.
All right.
Well, you, sir, must be Lord Thaddeus. We've heard so much about you, and
Yeah,
I'm gonna start.
so-
I'm gonna walk forward with my hand outstretched.
I'm gonna say in common, that's it.
All right, yeah.
I'm
And
gonna
forward.
message you. Like, this is the thing we're hunting. You can respond back.
Absolutely.
When you cast a spell, he's looking across. Look like you have come a long way. You want fair play? Fair play. You have magic? And he reaches down to his sack and picks it up in one hand and tosses it a little forward to like the halfway point, 10 feet out between you, where it just thumps onto the ground and tumbles to bits. You want magic and a meal? That is real magic.
Magic? Did he say it was meal magic or real magic?
I think there's dead meat in there. It could be magical dead meat. I don't know.
One and the same. Those that hold the magic in their blood transfer this power to their blood. I seek some of that power. but I am no monster. I'm willing to share.
Well, let's see what he's talking about, I suppose. Walk up to the sack and just kind of pull the sack off.
You step forward and pull off the sack. You dump out what appears to be an angel. A bronze-skinned man, only maybe about 4 feet tall, with bright amber wings. He's bloodied, horribly injured, and with nothing but a red bolt of cloth drawn around him, much like a toga. And as you dump this angel out onto the ground, man still standing there. The flesh of the angels is a powerful thing.
Yeah, sure.
And Jimmy
is.
just pulls his bow off.
Yeah, I'm gonna
And
start
all the
spell.
all the half-orcs start
Yeah,
pulling
we
out his
start
bows.
casting.
And as he smiles, looking at you, seeing everyone reach for their weapons, behind his head, you see the snout of a wolf emerge under his locks. And it is there we are going to roll some initiative, my friends.
+1, everybody.
He likes you. Want to give me a kiss?
Hold on, let me save you from the travesty that has been
It's
your
already
dice so
been
far.
kissed.
It's
It's
been
too late
kissed. It's
now.
too late now.
He's beautiful. He's gonna do it.
Yeah, I did
That's
it. That's
acceptable.
That's pretty good. That's
I mean, I'll still go last, but that's acceptable.
well, no, not last. Second to last.
Just as we had done before, we are going to consider, for the sake of not running 9 NPCs in this fight, that the assistance Jimmy and the other hunters are giving you is a +2 to your attacking damage rolls.
Okay.
So, Rur, what you got?
24. Probably somewhere more towards me. But
Esvis,
30.
Doran,
23.
buddy,
20.
Resume.
Also 23. You can go first.
Okay.
They're in
I
sync.
much farther expected myself to be over here.
With a 26. She's going right in here.
He's a demon machine.
Big old demon.
Alrighty, Esvis.
Can't have counter token.
Oh, sorry.
You threw a bunch of them over your shoulder a little while ago.
Yeah, those weren't the ones I was going to use for this. Let's give him our iconic Slayer friend.
Ooh.
And I do have a small
Angel.
angel will be on the ground right in front of the ballroom. Alright, Esvis.
So this is very clearly the threat we're looking for.
Pretty clearly, as a second face grows out of the back of his head. We're definitely in the right place here.
Hunt prey. And let me try and see here. I will. Oh, sorry. I was just trying to see the screen.
This is funny.
Or is my head blocking the camera?
Yeah.
Totally blocking the camera. Sorry, everyone. I had to try and see.
In
Sorry.
case you were curious if his head is shaved all the way around, it is.
It is. Yeah. Sorry. Anyway, I will move around, try to get to a clearer shot.
That was actually just fan service for you guys.
Sorry.
No, you're not.
And then hunted shot.
Alright, releasing 2 arrows
2 arrows at this thing.
out towards Tsukichi.
Oh, I guess a knowledge check.
We will get to this.
He's always recalling that knowledge.
Always.
So first shot. That is a 21.
A 21, as you shoot, as his head grows out, he just tips back and the arrow goes over his shoulder in a flash.
Very fast mover. All right then. Second shot is a 30.
30, however, as he comes back, will strike.
Okay. I'll just. When he ducks out of the way, this arrow just buries itself right into his shoulder. For 20 points of piercing damage, just straight into the shoulder.
The arrow punches straight through him, coming out the back. That's going to deal much less than 20 damage. It seems human as he looks. This form's pretty resistant to piercing damage.
Good to know. And that'll be the end of my turn.
So he steps forward, striding up to Dalren next to the angel here on the ground. Let's shift this slightly because it's token underneath it. And as he does, leaning forward, so that upside down, this wolf-like head comes up towards you. And he calls out, "The Dora will feast well tonight!" And this wolf head snaps towards Dalren.
Huh.
Bad dog.
For a 40.
Okay. It's just sort of like, huh, look at that. I wonder if it can actually... Oh, yes, no, it can. Just catches me straight across the torso. Critical hit.
And he is going to do 30 damage to you as these jaws close on Dalren's neck. You are mute. You cannot talk or make any sounds. And his head twists around as he stands back up, so the wolf is in the front, still holding firm on your throat. Rare.
If you've ever wanted nightmare fuel, here it is.
All right.
Here's your grab, buddy.
Ooh, I'm grabbed.
I'm thinking
Well.
your ray is gonna work on this guy.
Well, that's not actually what I was going for here. I'm going to attempt to put Healer's Blessing on the angel.
Okay. It is. You can do that.
I'm assuming not dead.
It does not appear to be dead. No, your healer's blessing.
And then a 2-action heal's going
we'll
to
find
shoot into the angel. Just get up, get up, get up.
And as you cast your heal into this thing, how much are you getting?
6 and 5 is 11, plus 9, 20, 44.
Okay, well, it is
50,
That's right, yeah.
because Healer's Blessing.
50 health. That's going to do a pretty good amount of bringing this thing up. And you see the angel shudder, his eyes opening on the ground. And as they do, there is no pupil or iris. It is just a flat orange, glowing, almost visible, like stark contrast to his dark skin. As he looks and realizes what's going on, and moves as he can to aid you. So his initiative is going to go way up here. It would be after here because it's going to start a round 2. He's going to actually start the next round. All right, Dalren.
All right, well, no need to talk, I suppose. So lightning will crackle up and run down his shoulders, and just kind of see it. Which head is here? Oh, I guess it's here by the throat, I suppose. And
Just your whole head's in its mouth.
I'm just imagining, like, yeah, it's got its mouth around your throat, and so you just, the monocle just flicks off, and you just, like, flex for a second, and then just lightning erupts. Like, don't even need to scream.
Nope, just look down at it with contempt in my eyes. So the first thing, I'm just going to shove this thing off of me.
Okay, so maybe check to escape.
Athletics, may I?
You can do athletics, acrobatics, or an armor strike.
I like athletics. So that is a 32.
32 will not do it.
Really?
His jaws seem to be a vice, and as you push against him, he doesn't fight back. He just puts his arms wide, and you can hear the face on the back of his head speaking. Mortals! Always thinking they possess such power!
I can't say anything snarky back because I can't talk. This is very frustrating. So at this point then, he's going to take the geese arm, pin it behind him on the ground, and just push him down with the leverage between the hair and just try to trip him with that.
Okay.
Did the try to break the grab, was that an
It is an
attack
attack
trait?
yes.
Oh, that's unfortunate. All right, so that's 6, 20, only a 21.
21 is not going to bring him down, no. As Jason strikes against his legs, nearly nothing happens.
Okay.
Resume. Demon seems pretty confident right now.
Resume, all right, will, look at him and, cast Agitatus And she'll cast Agitate on him. He needs to make me a will save.
I can get a 21 on his will save.
That will fail. So he must stride. What is a fail? What is?
He's very itchy. If he doesn't move, he just takes mental damage.
He just takes
Yeah.
mental damage
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
next 2 rounds.
Next 2 rounds, he has to stride
he has
once,
to stride once
or take 2d8 mental
2d8
damage.
mental damage. So he has to move and
Okay.
waste one of his turns moving.
One action left.
One action.
And I will shield.
Good idea, buddy.
Okay, I am very surprised that Dalrun isn't able to get this guy off of him. So I'm going to step up and bring my hammer around and swing it around to try and whack the guy's front of his face here, since the back of his face is attached to Dalrun. Okay, so that's a 16 on the day, plus 2, 18 plus 15. is a lot.
33?
33 will hit.
Okay.
At least you can
That's
hit him.
good.
Yes. I can't break the grab, but you can hit
Okay,
him.
so that's 9 plus 4, 13.
Alright?
And then I'm going to try again.
Just beating him with a hammer.
Really not-
He's just hitting him. He's just standing there. Like as
So
you
at
hit
the
him,
blunt
he's
end-
like shuddering a little bit from the force of the impacts, but he's really making no effort to even try to avoid him. He's just letting you pound him.
Really? So but it doesn't seem to be doing any damage.
No, it's
though.
doing damage. He just doesn't
Okay.
care.
Well, that's concerning. I guess I will move around to the back side of him, diagonal across from Dalrun, so I'm completely flanking him, and then I will shield up.
That's 3. You moved up, hit him, moved around to flanking.
Oh, right. Okay, so I'll be flanking.
So,
Thank you very
Knowledge
much.
check.
oh yeah, let me get you your knowledge check. This is nature. Good sir, what's your modifier?
12.
Yeah, no idea.
Roll
You don't
that
know
ag-
anything more than Jimmy has told you on Halfling like that?
Yep. Yeah, roll that again for me.
It's
Well beyond my knowledge.
something you've certainly never heard of before. On the ground, now conscious, a small angel gets up, assesses the situation, sees that you're being grabbed, and it's going to fly off in a circuit around back to Rur.
See ya, suckers!
Flapping with its wings just barely off of the ground. As it comes to a stop, not asking any questions or saying anything, it starts to sing. And its voice, literally angelic, resonates through all of you as he inspires you with courage. And everybody is going to take a +3 to your attack and damage rolls.
Wow, so we're at +5 total.
Jimmy's support and the literal singing of an angel, you feel much more poised to handle this creature. You see the wolf eyes shift to this angel as it gets up, and the demon twitches a little bit towards it, still not letting go of its grip on Dalren's neck. Esmus.
Starting things off right. Hunted shot, 2 shots. So, first shot is a 34.
34 will hit.
And second shot, if it matters for precision. Would it matter for precision for him or no?
It is, if that also, is it hardness and resistance?
It's our hardness and resistance.
Okay, then yes.
Okay.
Because he is resistant to piercing.
Okay. So, sorry, math. Okay. And a 37 on
37 will critically hit.
Nice.
Okay, so this is going to
And
be...
he's because why not?
And he's pinned because he's my prey.
True.
And he's stuck to the ground.
And he's gonna take damage.
All right, so this is going to be my critical. So 9, 30 for the critical.
He's stacked for resistance.
This stacks for
Stack
resistance. And then another 16, so
So 46.
46.
So 23 if it's halved.
Well,
So
it's not a half.
as you land these solid shots, this song from the angels seeming to guide you so effectively, this strikes and thuds true into the chest of this demon and staggers him a bit The first time he's actually flinched from a hit.
And I'll take a third shot as the 2 arrows are guided by this angel singing. On the third shot, just Espis is just going to shout in rage, just Pharasma will bid you to your worst punishment, and send out a third shot. I'm going to hero point that. My last hero point from Deadly Doll. Thank you, Deadly Doll.
Is that your last one, period?
Yeah, it's my last one, period. I'm empty again.
Okay.
I'm gotta make it count. Are you serious? That's a miss. Just misses wide.
Overwhelmed by rage.
Yeah.
This demon, putting his hands down, Dalren, you feel his jaws clamp like a vise on your throat. I need you to make me a fortitude save.
Okay.
You were given a chance.
Hey, it's no bonus to this, right?
None.
Okay. That's 31.
The 31, he crushes you with his jaws. You're going to take 8 damage. And then he's going to crush. He's going to continue crushing. Give me another fortitude save. He's already got you, and now he's just
Yep.
shredding.
Oh, that's not so great. That's only a 20.
And with a 20, you are going to take 13 damage.
Okay.
You roll it.
His agitate damage because he can't move.
He's absolutely moving. He then lets go of Dalren.
Nobody's pinned from Espis.
Oh, he is stuck from his.
So he's going to take
Guaranteed.
2d8. He doesn't have a choice.
Yeah, reaches down and rips the arrow out from his foot. Wolf head pointing towards the angel with a snarl.
And he will take 15
Mental damage.
mental damage. So he can't soak that.
You see now rage contorting even the canine side of his face. As the arrow withdrawn, he twitches a bit, preparing to stride directly towards this little angel. Rare.
Protect our friend. Protect our friend.
It's a priest of Sarenrae. I'm positive he's going to defend the angel. I don't think he needs to be told that.
That's why my first
That's the player.
response
That's the
was, "Get up."
player. That's the player.
All right, so I see where he's coming, and I'm going to stare him down, and I'm going to tell him to freeze and drop where he stands. With a will save.
He's going to get a 29.
He succeeds,
save.
which I'm pretty sure means it does nothing.
Pretty sure he uses one action.
Yeah, he has to
While
use
you're
one
doing
action.
this. So it's functionally stunned one. He'll basically stop for 1 round
Okay.
and then continue. But you have 1 action left.
I'm going to 5-foot step in front of the angel.
Little halfling steps in front, and he looks just like, he doesn't look like a halfling, he looks like a human, just scaled down a little bit. He's about the same size as you, floating behind you. And Verge steps in front of him, holding a symbol of Sarenrae up. Stop it!
Yeah.
Stop.
Dalren, he has released you.
Oh, he's released me, has he? Kind of crunch my neck back into place, and then just whip this geese arm around and try to catch him with a slash.
+5.
Plus a
Plus,
lot.
yeah, but Jimmy's support on the angel.
Yeah, although that's not that great a roll. Let's see. Plus Jimmy, so plus the angel. That's a 26.
And 26 will hit him.
Ooh. Let's see. 9 plus 8
Hey, friendly
plus
tokens.
5.
Angels will skull.
I'll make friends.
I didn't think about that until now.
22 lightning.
Alright.
And let's bring it around again. That's only a 2, but I have a hero point. Alright, ticking off my Destro Net hero point.
Taking this and 1 from the chest. Mucker, I do not like Kishi. Make them not like it either. I will do my best. Wow. That's vindictive and I love it.
Oh, man. It's not great.
There's 2 types of people.
That's a 23.
23 also, he will barely dip aside from the blade after taking the first hit. And he is starting to show, his body is now starting to show signs of wear.
Oh wait, you're flanking.
I am playing against 25.
That'll hit. He is left-footed. You're flanking.
Woo!
Tactics.
Tactics! Oh, nice. 12 plus 8, 20 plus 5, 25 lightning damage.
So having taken a pretty significant amount of hitting now, he continues He is now making some efforts to avoid you. He's trying to dodge. He seems to have gained a respect here. He doesn't seem to be affected by pain. He's not slowing down. He's not stopping, but his body is being beaten to shreds.
And flip the geese arm. Last one, try to trip him, knock him on the floor.
All right.
Fishing for 20s, baby.
No,
No.
with 7 on the die, I'm not going to get it.
All right, and then Arcadis. I see there's a player missing hero points. Esphis, stop being poor.
Thank you, Arcadis.
Resume.
Resme will look at him with hatred in her eyes, dodge this, and cast a level 3 magic missile on him.
Spoilers. He did not dodge it.
This just in.
Now this man has the 1 per campaign magic missile resistance item.
This guy, yeah.
19 damage.
With 19 damage, Resume. These missiles weaving between Dalren and Rur, colliding with this Kishi. What happens to him?
Resme casts out her magic missiles, and with the last 2, she looks and she goes, "The darkness never wins." And the last 2 magic missiles will go right straight through his eyes and out the back, and 2 gaping holes filled with magical fire are all that are left as he slumps to the ground.
As this thing drops, having turned towards the angel, his skull blown out, just collapses the body onto the ground, as dead as anything you've ever seen. Skagero, Esvis for the crit. Load this
job.
man up. Keep feeding him hero points so he can keep killing.
Thank you, Skagero.
Another couple arrows thudding into his corpse later. Thump, thump. Jimmy and the boys realize their quarry lays dead, and Jimmy is quick to rush forward up to the body of this Kishi, laying on the ground, and kneel down beside it, and pulls out the cold iron dagger he has, flipping the body over and jamming it down into his chest, where the heart would be. Were it a person. Does it have a heart? You don't know.
Better safe than sorry.
Can't hurt to keep stabbing.
But as he doesn't stab, he just stabs it once. He jams it in there like staking a vampire, and just leaves it. Let's go, leaving it stuck in. There's no blood coming from any of this thing's wounds, and where you can see through the skin, there doesn't seem to be much of anything inside it. Just emptiness.
Anyone speak Celestial?
Get outside. Not
As
exactly
it's
my
sitting there
field.
flapping this feathered wingspan of amber, floating almost behind Rur. Surely its wings moving far too slowly to be the force actually keeping it aloft. The singing comes to an end, his chords echoing through this glade, almost still audible even after he's clearly stopped. He pivots on the spot, turning back towards Resume, shaking his head. There is no need.
Oh, good.
The language of the angels is universal.
We're so glad you're okay.
As, of course, am I. Please, let me aid you. And puts his hands together, bowing his head a bit, turning back around, and reaching out over her. Sana Mayam. As a wave of golden light flows out slowly into Dalren, healing you for 37.
Okay, I'll take it.
That's right, not everyone can be as good as Rur.
With regularly 40 and 50 heals.
Right? Tiny little angel.
Oh, he's so cute.
Hey, don't heal me until he leaves. It'd be rude.
Yeah.
As he kind of just floats there. You have done me, of course, a great personal service, and the heavens, in kind, are thankful. I must return. This fiend snatched me from my task, and I am bidden to one in Magambia to investigate on my summoner's behalf. But please, allow me to aid you.
Of course. We are
Honored.
yes. Well, we're seeking we're seeking to protect our lands from Cinderclaws, a cult worshiping Dahak. Can you help us in
don't
that?
say the D word.
He's not Ekujae. He doesn't care.
But with this angel saved and now bidden to assist you with what celestial power he has, at least for some time, we'll find out what exactly he can do when next we meet. Which for Sirius is going to be 2 weeks this time, because next week is definitely PaizoCon. I know I'm right this time.
Don't
I know
believe
I
his
screwed
lies.
it up last week because I thought it was this weekend, because I don't even who even knows what day it is anymore with the state of the universe. But for Sirius, next week is PaizoCon. We're going to be here a little later than usual, starting about an hour ago from now with a one-shot. As part of the PaizoCon programming, a spiritual successor to our Fall of Plaguestone adventure, which everyone is very excited for. And then we'll be back the week after, 2 weeks from now, to continue the Age of Ashes. And to find out what rewards come to those who save a literal angel from a fey demon that is trying to eat them.
I'm thinking we're gonna get cotton candy at the very least.
Highlight of my day, the collective look on everyone's faces when I said he hits you for a 40. That's just a great moment, really.
The first 40s.
He steps forward, with the first 40 we've seen this campaign,
Yeah. Oh, can he really? Can he really
we're
bite
gonna-
me from the back of his head? Oh yes, he can.
Oh,
my
we're gonna
goodness.
die. The brief moment of terror. Thank you all for being here in the chat. Thank you all hanging out, supporting us. We, of course, appreciate you guys. Be sure to tune in to this channel, twitch.tv/officialpaizo, all next weekend with all kinds of content that Paizo themselves are going to be bringing you. Other plays and shows like the Band of Bravos on Friday, us today. Hopefully there's going to be some cool advanced player's guide reveals. Oh, that's all I want. I just want to know. I just want to see it. I just want to know more things about what's coming. Certainly going to be a lot of entertainment. Appreciate everyone having you here. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
We have food now. Bye-bye.
Oh, I'm so hungry.